and Simone Biles, who has just led the women's gymnastics team back to gold at the Paris Olympics 3 years after pulling out of the team event in Tokyo, where the U.S. won silver behind Russian gymnasts. Biles now has more Olympic medals than any other American gymnast, 8 so far in 3 games. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Chances for some more storms. Mostly sunny, 88 degrees over the circle. The radar looks good. Low of 72 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:02. You can expect the chances of severe weather to continue the next couple of days. Ryan Hedrick reports.
Humidity levels will be above 90% for the next couple of days, but we're also stuck in a weather pattern that could produce severe weather, says Aaron Updike with the National Weather Service.
Where we get these thunderstorm complexes that will develop west of here and move into the Ohio Valley. We're still uncertain on exactly what parts of Indiana are going to be impacted.
Updike says a confirmed tornado touchdown in Madison County on Monday night. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A Marine from Avon died last Saturday during a training exercise accident over at a base in California. Marine Staff Sergeant Jerry Betzold was sent to a hospital after a vehicle rolled over during training. He did not survive. It's not clear why the vehicle rolled over or if anybody else was hurt. Betzold had joined the Marine Corps in August of 2016. A fatal crash in Johnson County around 7:30 last night. 2 people on a Harley Davidson collided with someone else in a Ford F-450 truck.
The Harley was driven by a male, and the passenger was a female on that motorcycle, and both of them were killed and pronounced dead there at the accident scene.
Johnson County Sheriff Dwayne Burgess says the evidence shows the motorcycle driver ran a red light, causing the crash. The first of several hearings this week in the Delphi murders case is happening today. The defense has asked for their client, suspect Richard Allen, to be moved from the Indiana Department of Corrections over to the Cass County Jail. They believe it would be better for Allen's mental health to not be held in solitary confinement. The defense also says they have a photo proving Allen's innocence that state police had 7 years ago. Prosecutors dispute that. IU's Board of Trustees has come up with a new policy laying out more clear rules for handling protests on its Bloomington campus. Board Chairman Quinn Buckner.
I think is a huge opportunity and a blessing here is the responsibility for me to both educate and protect the people on this campus.
The policy bans camping and disruptive amplified sound. It also says protests can only last until 11 at night. An anti-Israel encampment will be in violation of the new policy once it takes effect on the 1st of August. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:04.
Listen up, Hoosier. This is Gunny speaking, and I'm here to tell you what Senator Todd Young is doing about the mess Biden's creating at the border. The Laken-Riley Act ain't no walk in the park, soldier. It's a mission to secure our border. When illegals think they can just waltz in and wreak havoc, they got another thing coming. Senator Young's legislation is going to lock them down tighter than a drum. Young ain't just sitting around saluting. No, sir. He's stopping flow of fentanyl like it's enemy number 1. Fighting the flow of fentanyl into Indiana from our southern border. And recognizing that it's causing Hoosier families to lose loved ones far too soon. Joe Biden is responsible for this crisis, and Todd is stopping him. It's time to build the wall, enforce tough immigration laws. Todd Young, a Marine fighting to protect Hoosiers. Hoorah! Paid for by Hoosier Honor Pack. Hoosier Honor Pack is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. Learn more at HoosierHonor.com.
With traffic in the 5s at 3:05, here's Matt Baer.
All right, Harrison, east side, a ramp is shut down. It runs from westbound 70 like you're coming from Hancock County to Indianapolis, and it goes from westbound 70 to southbound 465. Ramp closed because of a crash. South side crash, westbound 465 between Harding Street and the White River. Left lane blocked, a little bit of a slowdown there. Northbound 65 stop-and-go traffic, Keystone Avenue into the south split for 20 minutes, and eastbound 70 running at 15 minutes from Belmont to Meridian, Illinois. Traffic sponsored by Mr. Quick Home Services. Is your AC struggling to keep up? Mr. Quick Home Services has you covered. Get $74 off any AC repair now. Trust their fast service to keep you comfortable. MrQuickHomeServices.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Sunny, hot, and humid for the day today. We'll see highs in the upper 80s, but feels like temperatures into the upper 90s. Tonight's showers and thunderstorms possible south and west of Indy with lows near 71. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it.
Hammer, a couple of things I want to touch on. Dig down a little bit deeper that you heard in the WIBC newsroom this afternoon, maybe even earlier this morning. One, the Indiana 9/11 memorial defaced with graffiti. Somebody using the 9/11 Never Forget Memorial downtown to perpetuate and further their cause, which is they added the word Gaza to never forget. I'm looking at the picture right here, man. It's not like it's in green. It doesn't pop, and you can't really, you have to zoom in on it a little bit, but that doesn't even matter to me. The fact that somebody used a 9/11 memorial to further their own cause, their own narrative about Gaza and pro-Hamas, anti-Israel is just disgusting to me.
And this is that 9/11 memorial that overlooks the canal downtown here. And I'm wondering, these people who graffiti on monuments and do this type of nonsense, do they think they're winning people over to their cause? Do they really feel like more people are going to be sympathetic to their cause because they're vandalizing statues and memorials?
My initial visceral response to that question is no, they're just a-holes. There's no way they can think, no rational person would ever consider writing the word Gaza next to never forget in terms of what it means about 9/11 on that memorial overlooking the canal. No rational person, I guess I should say, maybe rational is a word I should insert there, could think to themselves, oh, this will bring people over to my cause.
And listen, I'm not condoning this, but if this were some sort of Israel memorial, it makes more sense than a 9/11. Like, I don't think you should ever vandalize property. I'm not for looting. I'm not for rioting. I'm not for vandalizing, spray painting on monuments. But what does the 9/11 memorial have to do with you supporting Hamas? I just don't get that. And I don't think anybody gets it. And I'm willing to bet if you asked the people who spray painted, tell me what you really think about this war. What do you know about this war?
Nothing.
You're going to get zilch. You're going to get a big nothing burger as a response. It's the cause du jour for the activist crowd growing up. That's exactly what it is. Speaking of the activists, big news from IU. Their board of trustees, including Quinn Buckner, former Hoosier basketball star.
Heard that.
He is now a part of their board of trustees. They had a special vote and meeting yesterday to really put the ground rules out there for future protests.
Clamp down on some of the nonsense.
So they had this independent review to kind of go over what took place at Dunn Meadow during the spring. This is when all the college encampments were taking place. Columbia was probably ground zero for all this stuff, Columbia and UCLA. But Ivy League schools, Big Ten schools, and Indiana, they fell into that category. So moving forward, these are the things that are permitted in terms of protesting at Dunn Meadow at IU. You can peacefully protest. You can make speeches. You can carry signs. You can use sidewalk chalk that, will eventually wash away. The activities, the protesting has to be between the hours of 6 a.m. and 11 p.m. The only exceptions are celebrations of significant IU achievements. So let's say football season's coming up here. Let's say IU shocks the world and beats Ohio State in football. Yeah. You could have an all-campus rager at Dunn Meadow after 11 o'clock.
Good luck with that scenario.
I'm just saying.
I understand. Yeah.
These are the things not permitted. Use of temporary structures without approval 10 days in advance. So if you try to set up a tent city and you do not have approval for tent city 10 days in advance, it's going to be taken down.
I don't know. If I'm on that board, I'm the one that's making the decision about whether or not, hey, they want to set up a tent city 10 days from now. I think I'm checking the no box on that. I don't care what it is.
It's got to be between 6 and 11.
Whatever.
Make sure you take your tent down at promptly 11 o'clock. You have to have all law enforcement, state officials, local campus officials complying with everything going on. No camping at any time unless you get approval from the university. So these were the things that they laid out yesterday. And it kind of goes back to what that original report stated.
Right. These are all things that were all going on.
They have to just communicate better. If there was one takeaway from that independent law firm that broke down everything that happened on IU's campus in regards to the pro-Hamas protesters, the communication was awful. They changed the rules the night before the protest, the encampment, and nobody knew what the rules were. That's really what IU is going to focus on moving forward. Does this make you feel any better, Nige?
This is a rhetorical question.
The Ayatollah is pissed off about the opening ceremonies of the Olympics.
The Supreme Leader of Iran? Really?
The Supreme Leader.
Wait a minute.
The Ayatollah of rock and rolla, as Chris Jericho used to call himself. But the Supreme Leader of Iran puts on Twitter, translated, quote, "Respect for hashtag Jesus Christ is an indisputable, definite matter for Muslims. We condemn these insults directed at the holy figures of divine religions, including Jesus Christ. Hashtag Olympics 2024.
So this has to do with the mocking of the Last Supper with the transvestites and the there's some other
Now be
kinds of
careful.
things.
All of these, religious scholars on social media have said that it wasn't mocking the Last Supper. But if you listen to the producers of the Olympics, the folks that put it on, narrator, they were mocking the Last Supper.
And they apologize for it in a half-assed, roundabout, elitist manner. I'm so sorry if you were offended by our genius artistic take on the Last Supper. So it is kind of funny, the Supreme Leader. Hey, don't worry about it, Christians. I mean, you know what? The mantra of Iran is still death to America, but the Ayatollah's got your back when it comes to mocking the Last Supper. I feel a lot better, actually. Yeah.
So the audio we played of the priest yesterday who was responding to that half-assed apology,
I remember, yeah.
You mean to tell me that right now, if he gets into the same room as the Supreme Leader of Iran, they're going to have that awesome high five like in Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Carl Weathers? They're coming together? That's what's happening here?
I mean, when you got the Supreme Leader of Iran going, yeah, that is kind of effed up. The Olympics did. Yeah, I have your back on this one, Christians.
I don't have a theology degree, but if the Supreme Leader of Iran is looking at your opening ceremony going, boy, that's pretty blasphemous right there. Something is wrong. Something is very, very wrong.
And I love the Predator. The handshake between Carl Weathers and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That's what the Catholic priest and the Ayatollah of rock and roll are doing right now. What's up, Matt Bear? Matt Bear?
Matt, you there?
Somebody in the newsroom yell for Matt.
Matt! Yeah, wait. Keep it going.
Here, keep it going. Go in there and yell at him, Nige.
Okay. Sorry, I was covering this crash here. It's a ramp closure on the eastbound, on the east side. It's westbound 70. Sorry, guys. I sat down with rush hour, and there are 50 things happening all at once. I apologize.
That's why we're coming to you, buddy.
Westbound 72, southbound 465. That ramp is closed on the east side. Totally shut down right now with traffic slow and being diverted right now to northbound 465. Again, that's on the east side. Now on the south side, we have a crash westbound 465 at the White River. That's blocking the left lane, slowing us back to Harding Street. Northbound 65, stop and go traffic, Keystone Avenue through the south split. And that right now is a delay time of 17 minutes. Eastbound 70 stop to Belmont Avenue into the South Split, 19-minute travel time. And a crash 42nd west of Mithofer. That is a crash with injury and entrapment. Traffic sponsored by Staples Stores. Your local Staples Stores has hot deals and super low prices on everything for back to school. Even technology. Save even more with Easy Rewards program at Staples. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates.
All right. Man, I was really hoping Sasha Nixon back there, or whoever's in the WIBC newsroom, was just going to go over there and scream at Matt, "Hey, what's going on back here?"
I can't picture Sasha Nixon screaming at anybody.
Going full Bob Knight. Hey, you better get your head out of here. Sasha Nixon. 87 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Man, we're jam-packed today.
We are.
We got the president of the Fraternal Order of Police, Rick Snyder, joining us at 4:35 today. Massive shortage of officers. And I also want to get his opinion on what can be done with some of these kids in school that just violently beat somebody.
Yeah, happened again in Beech Grove, didn't it?
It did. And we're going to have the mom of the victim on our show at 5:06 today. So we are locked and loaded, my friends. Don't go anywhere. We're going to get you up to date with everything you need to know. We're going to laugh. We might have a few cocktails. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for advice and fun. Brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
Close your eyes and picture it. The warm sun on your face. The sound of waves lapping against the shore. What if I told you that feeling of summer relaxation could be yours all year round? At Howard Bailey Financial, we specialize in retirement planning that lets you embrace that summer state of mind every day. Imagine knowing that your future is secure. With our expert advisors, we'll craft a personalized retirement plan tailored to your dreams. Whether it's traveling the world or pursuing your passions, we'll ensure that your retirement is as carefree and fulfilling as a relaxing summer afternoon. Embrace a summer state of mind and text SUMMER to 888-494-5004 to download our complimentary retirement toolkit and experience your retirement planning with confidence.
This endorsement was not provided by a client of Howard Bailey. This individual was compensated for this endorsement. For more information, visit howardbailey.com/TS1.
If you can't get a good night's sleep, let me ask you, are you breathing well? Because if you're snoring or waking up each night with a stuffed up nose, or frustrated with your CPAP mask, the root of your sleep problem lies in your breathing triangle. And if any one of those passages isn't working, you won't sleep well. And there's no mattress, pill, or other gimmick that can fix that. I'm Dr. Madan Kiandula. A recipe for a good night's sleep starts with an open airway. Now, there are devices that can help solve snoring or sleep apnea problems. If you walk into a sleep center, know you'll walk out with a CPAP. And you might find other options elsewhere. But the simple truth is, if your nose doesn't work properly, no device will help. Only at Advent will you find every effective snoring and sleep apnea solution, along with a world-class team that can get your nose working properly again.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors.
Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
This hour on WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, designers of fine custom jewelry.
The Hammer and Nigel Show.
Do you suppose we'll meet any wild animals?
Hey, baby, let's go out there like a bunch of crazy dogs. Have some fun.
The dingo ate your baby.
And now Hammer and Nigel proudly presents.
Damn, nature, you scary.
Lions.
And tigers. And bears.
Oh, my.
Hammer, a wild turkey attacked someone's car in Boston for 15 minutes.
Those things can be mean.
They are like the bastard offshoot of like the goose family. Really, I mean, wild
as
turkeys
delicious as they are at Thanksgiving, they are rotten to the core.
I know. So they literally, for 15 minutes, this turkey attacked someone's car in Boston. It's most likely attacked because the turkey could see its reflection in the car door. That's how dumb these moron turkeys are. And here is somebody talking about the car getting attacked.
All sides of my car were messed up, like completely scratched. We were already a little out of it. Saw the note, was like, oh gosh, someone hit my car. It says, I just watched and recorded a massive turkey attack your car for over 15 minutes. Sorry you were the target of this turkey rage.
Are you buying that? Like, if you walk up on your car, so this person that owned the car didn't witness the turkey rage. And somebody leaves a note on your car that says, hey, wild turkey. I just watched for 15 minutes a turkey attack your car. Are you buying that?
First of all, the term turkey rage, the way you casually just throw that out there like it's a thing.
Is that a real thing? Is that a medical
Some
classification?
people have road rage, others have turkey rage. I don't know if I do. Like, if I'm the driver that accidentally bumps into your car and nobody sees it, what's to stop me from going up to you? Damn, to see that turkey back there? That thing's out of control. Must be turkey rage.
That is such a good point. Yeah, to get out of dealing with the insurance, but you still want to be kind of like on the up and up about it.
Right.
Hey, yes, I just wanted to let you know all these giant scratches on the side of your passenger door. It's a wild turkey.
I chased him off. He's not here anymore, but I totally chased him off.
Animals are so stupid, especially like turkeys. It's like I used to have this red robin outside. I lived in the woods when I was a kid out in Liston. And at 5 o'clock in the morning during the summer, this red, went right when the sun would come up, and this robin would just nail my window. Smack, just thinking it was another robin, like it was pissed at it. Wake me up, just. I mean, 5 o'clock. I would do the same to my dad's sliding glass door upstairs in their master bedroom, and. I think the statute of limitations is passed because I don't think you're allowed to kill a state bird. But my dad finally one morning woke up with a BB gun and just, opened the sliding glass door at the last minute and shot it through.
Well, I think the cardinal is the state bird.
What do I say? Red robin?
Yeah.
Well, no, okay, it was the cardinal.
Oh, okay.
It was one of those. It was a red robin or a cardinal, whatever the state bird is.
I believe it's the cardinal.
Maybe I'm thinking of the burger joint when I'm talking about the red robin, which has excellent burgers, which is no longer on Michigan Road, by the way, unfortunately.
And those birds way smarter than turkeys. Benjamin Franklin wanted the turkey to be the national bird, and the rest of the founding fathers were like, "No, we're not doing that."
Are you effing with me here?
No, that's true. Benjamin Franklin wanted the turkey to be the national bird, and like John Adams and everybody else are like, "You're just a big fat bastard. We're gonna make it the bald eagle."
All the other stuff that he accomplished in his career as one of the founding fathers, one of the things that didn't make it through was the wild turkey.
Yes,
being the
correct.
Yeah, about that wild turkey thing, man, it's down to that and the bald eagle.
Personally, I think turkey's a great idea, but Hancock over here, he's pretty fired up about it. Adams, he won't shut the hell up about the bald eagle, so, great moments in turkey history.
Oh, wow. There is such a thing?
Here is a police officer who has to fend off turkey rage during a traffic stop.
Chicken. Get your up-to-date. What is... Huh? Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, come on.
Turkey's on coke.
Here's your stuff back. I'll be right back, ma'am. Give me a second. Except for I'm getting attacked by a chicken right now.
He calls it a chicken.
It's this giant, humongous chicken. It's like this mutant chicken that's attacking me. That wasn't on the bingo card for that officer that day, I don't think.
Feathers everywhere. I've never seen a chicken like this. Great moments in turkey history. Florida man goes viral for putting his frozen turkey into his swimming pool to thaw it out for Thanksgiving.
We have our turkey. See our turkey?
How big is it?
I don't know. But it's frozen, and they say you have to have it in the water, right?
16 pounds.
16 pounds. So hold on, Uncle Chuck. Here we go. Here it goes. Oh! So yes, folks, we thaw our turkey in the pool. That's how you do it when you live in Florida, right?
Would you want to eat that guy's turkey if he invites you over for Thanksgiving?
No, I mean, unless I want it to taste like chlorine.
I mean, that little thin wrapper protecting the turkey from all that isn't going to keep it safe, is it?
Gross.
And last but certainly not least,
Never heard that.
great moments in turkey history, the world-famous turkey drop from WKRP.
Something just came out of the back of the helicopter. It's a dark object, perhaps a skydiver, plummeting to the earth from only 2,000 feet into the air. Third. Oh my God, they're turkeys! Oh, Johnny, can you get this? Oh, they're crashing to the earth right in front of our eyes. One just went through the windshield of a parked car. This is terrible. The cars running around pushing each other. The turkeys are hitting the ground like sacks of wet cement.
Yes, God is my witness. I thought turkeys could fly.
Great moments.
Classic.
In turkey history. Nige, if you're looking for a reason to drink tonight.
Okay.
Happy 77th birthday to one of the great character actors of all time. A guy that has no problem playing a weasel in everything that he's in, William Atherton.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Walter Peck, the EPA guy, and goes, well, you can believe, Mr. Pecker, my name is Peck. Love that scene.
He was the Weasel EPA guy in Ghostbusters,
Yes.
the Weasel TV reporter in Die Hard, and the Weasel University professor Jerry Hathaway in the Val Kilmer movie
Real Genius.
Real
Love it.
Genius is awesome. Happy 77th to William Atherton.
People are talking about Window Nation. Their Window Nation customer, Vicky, says, we couldn't be happier. This was a great experience. She's just one of over 33,000 five-star reviews. That's because Window Nation is all about the value. And this August, they're giving you great value during the Window Nation anniversary sale. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free, plus no interest or payments for 24 months. And if you act now, you'll get an extra $250 credit.
Window Nation values your satisfaction in their quality, service, and affordability. That's why they stand behind their windows with a lifetime warranty. Window Nation was also recently ranked highest on Forbes' list of best window installation companies. So you can trust Window Nation for high-quality, affordable windows. Hurry, this big sale ends August 31st. Schedule that in-home estimate right now at 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do...
Let's play something, Grandma.
...became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Fisher's Event Center will come to life this November with legendary performances by Turnpike Troubadours, comedian Leanne Morgan, and AEW Dynamite Wrestling. And they're just getting started. Check out FishersEventCenter.com to learn more, buy tickets, and sign up for special announcements. Don't miss out on the first season of awesome concerts, hilarious comedy, competitive sports, wholesome family entertainment, and more. See for yourself right now at FishersEventCenter.com. That's FishersEventCenter.com.
Hey, Pat Sullivan here, letting you know that Hope Plumbing is bringing back an amazing offer. For a limited time, Hope Plumbing will buy back your old water heater for $1,000 with the installation of a tankless water heater. So if having endless hot showers and saving money on your gas bill is on your summer to-do list, call my friends at Hope Plumbing and get your tankless water heater installed today. HopePlumbing.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What you can expect out of the forecast. Sunny with temps to the upper 80s. Downtown all clear under radar. Low of 72 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:30. You can expect hot and humid weather the next few days.
We're getting a lot of moisture coming in from the south, and that's going to be pushing our dew points into the low to mid 70s most days, and when we get temperatures then into the upper 80s to near 90.
Aaron Updike with the National Weather Service says there is going to be a possibility of severe weather pretty much through Thursday. Your radar is going to tell you what's up. Do you know Richard Allen, the man accused of the Delphi murders in 2017? His defense argues evidence exists that he may be innocent at a photo that was given to state police in 2017 who no longer have it. Allen's lawyers say they had to go to Georgia to get the pic. State prosecutors say they never had the photo. Today's the first of several hearings scheduled this week in the case. Israel announced a strike against Hezbollah in Beirut this afternoon. Fox's Trey Yingst reports.
A massive explosion in southern Beirut. We understand, according to the Israeli military, this was an airstrike targeting a Hezbollah commander that the Israelis say is responsible for the deaths of those 12 children and teens in Masjid al-Shams in the northern part of the Golan Heights on Saturday. Remember, this is how all of it began over the weekend. That Iran-made rocket slamming into a soccer field and killing 12 young souls. The Israelis promising that they would respond, and it appears this is the response.
The United States has advised Israel to avoid escalation when responding. Protests last spring on IU's campus over the conflict in the Middle East are why IU's Board of Trustees have come up with a new policy over how these protests are handled.
I think is a huge opportunity and a blessing here is the responsibility for me to both educate and protect the people on this campus.
Board Chairman Quinn Buckner, the revised policy bans camping and disruptive amplified sound. It also says protests can only last until 11 at night. The average price for a gallon of gas in Indiana down a bit from yesterday to $3.59 a gallon, according to GasBuddy.com. It's still above the national average by about 9 cents. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:32.
Hey, it's Rob. If you want to grow your hair back, check out the precision and accuracy of the Artist Robotic FUE at We Grow Hair Indy. You'll be amazed at the permanent natural results you can get and get back to work ASAP. Darren Andrews, Clinic Director of We Grow Hair Indy, is here to tell us more.
The Artist Robotic FUE hair transplant at We Grow Hair Indy, one of the most sophisticated hair transplant procedures available. The accuracy and the precision of the Artist Robotic FUE is what clients love the most. Get the results you want with our Artist FUE or multi-unit hair grafting procedure.
Don't wait. Call today and find out more about the Artist Robotic FUE at WeGrowHairIndy.com. Call 317-522-2995, 317-522-2995 for your evaluation, 317-522-2995, and grow your hair back today.
With traffic at 3:33, here's Matt Bear.
Good Lord, ramp closed on the east side Harrison. It's westbound 72, southbound 465 because of a crash. We're getting pushed northbound 465 right now. South side crash, westbound 465, about a mile and a half after Harding Street. Left lane closed, traffic stopped. Back to US 31, and right now we have a delay time running of about 21 minutes. Looking at northbound 65, stop and go traffic from Keystone Avenue up to the south split, and then eastbound 70, 18 minutes from Belmont to the south split. That delay continues as you travel northbound 65, 70 up to the north split, and eastbound 70 also stop and go from the north split out to Emerson Avenue. It's a crash on the east side, 42nd Street west of Mitthofer. Please avoid the area. Injury and entrapment reported. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Imagine the possibilities of getting the backyard of your dreams. Expand your living space with an Indy Decorative Concrete patio. Indy Decorative Concrete, the patio experts, big enough to serve, small enough to care. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Sunny, hot, and humid for the day today. We'll see highs in the upper 80s, but feels like temperatures into the upper 90s. Tonight's showers and thunderstorms possible south and west of Indy with lows near 71. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
The Hammer and Nigel Show.
Yeah, I hate this, Hammer. I definitely want to recognize the passing of an Avon man serving as a Marine. He was helping with a training exercise when he was rolled over he rolled over in a Humvee with him inside. He died the next day at the local hospital. So training exercise, he's in a Humvee, the thing rolls over, and the next thing you know, he's lost his life in a training exercise. 26-year-old U.S. Marine Staff Sergeant Jerry Betzold.
He was a man that had won a couple different medals. He was awarded several decorations, including the Global War on Terrorism Service Medal and National Defense Service Medal. So truly, hero among our community. Thoughts and prayers gets put out there a lot. You hear that phrase, but seriously.
That's okay. But that's okay. I mean, if somebody says thoughts and prayers aren't enough, then they're trying to perpetuate their own narrative. Thoughts and prayers is a significant thing to say when you're trying to express condolences and empathy and sympathy for a family. And being that this guy was from Avon, a local guy here in Indy, and I don't know, there's always something else too. I mean, it's like, you know, this guy wasn't in combat. He was in training. I hate it, and it's one of the things that just comes with the territory of being a Marine or anybody in the United States military. Training is dangerous too. I'm not saying.
There was a guy I went to high school with that died basically the same way. Was serving his country and died in a training accident involving a vehicle that rolls over.
There's been several helicopter accidents as well as aircraft accidents during training exercises as well. Yeah.
So definitely, if you know the family, and if you're the praying type, do the right thing because they're going through a hard time right now. Here is something that is really going to tick off Guy Relford, because Guy Relford, the gun guy, he says it all the time on our show. As a law-abiding gun owner, the thing that makes him more angry than anything else is when people act like knuckleheads with guns, because then it gives all the law-abiding citizens a bad name. You get lumped into the same category, right? So this 37-year-old guy from Indy was arrested and is facing multiple charges after allegedly shooting a gun and allowing juveniles between the age of 10 to 14 to also shoot his gun in the parking lot of an East Side apartment complex.
Come on.
According to the court documents, the man, who has yet to be formally charged, was firing shots in the apartment complex near Hillsdale Avenue on Saturday morning. Witnesses told police they watched the man and 3 young individuals firing the gun and running back into the apartment. One of the witnesses took video and showed it to police. Now, the police have made contact with this guy and the 3 juveniles between 10 to 14. But we'll see what happens here. According to court documents, the man was encouraging the kids to shoot the gun.
Here is the question that should be asked that I think probably Guy Relford and I would differ on. And I'll ask you this. Should this guy ever be allowed to own and operate a gun again? He didn't kill anybody. I don't know this is a felony, but look, guy's an idiot. And there's a side of me, there's a piece of me that says, if you're off firing guns with 10-year-olds in parking lots, that's probably it. You know, sorry.
It's going to be interesting to see what they officially charge him with.
I know, I understand, and I would probably think Guy Relford would definitely vehemently disagree with me. But there's a side of me, man, that says, yeah, you had your chance. This is a little over the top.
Maybe you and Guy can have that conversation Friday, because he's joining you out at the Indiana State Fair for Beer Sample Friday out there. Guy's filling in for me. All right, I'm going to have to get Allison in the mix on this one.
Oh, boy.
So comedian Matt Rife, he's scheduled a stand-up comedy show here in Indy now. It's supposed to be a big Gamebridge Fieldhouse thing, I believe. Now, this is the same dude who's canceled 2 different shows in Bloomington. Allison, you know who Matt Rife is, right?
Yeah, he's a really popular comedian right now, especially with the ladies.
Chicks find him attractive, and he's got popular on social media.
A lot of crowd work has gone viral. If you've seen that, that's probably what he's known for.
So,
like interacting with the crowd, either hecklers or just asking them questions.
Yep.
Okay.
But if you have bought tickets to see this guy twice, and he's canceled both times. Are you going to be in a hurry to buy tickets to see him again?
Well, so the first time, I believe it was in February, and he moved it because of unforeseen scheduling conflicts, is what I read. And then this last time was because they announced it 20 minutes after the show was supposed to start that he had a medical emergency that was due to extreme exhaustion. So I don't know. It'll be
he
very
canceled,
interesting.
then he had a makeup show and canceled the makeup show.
Right, but now that he moved to a bigger stadium this time to Gamebridge, so I don't know if they're expecting more people to show up, but we were talking off air. The comments online are all Hoosiers, and they are not too excited to jump in line. So it'll be interesting. I don't know. He's really popular right now. I don't know if he's just trying to figure out this touring life. I don't know. I don't know.
How do you, I mean, like there are guys working on the sides of the road laying concrete, sheetrock, guys up on roofs. Sorry, boss, can't come in today. I've got, what was the excuse?
A mental health day.
It's originally a medical emergency, extreme exhaustion.
Extreme exhaustion. I mean, you get up on stage and tell jokes.
Right.
Look, the guy's obviously huge, a big, gigantic name, and he is more than likely going to sell a buttload of tickets at Gamebridge. But
will he though?
Like
I think he will.
Here in Indy, I think people are a little ticked off about what's happened twice now.
If you see all these articles online of people announcing the tour yesterday, and I mean, there was thousands of comments of people being like, I don't think so. I'm not getting ripped off again.
You think he's hot, Allison?
Subjectively, yes.
Okay.
Objectively.
A lot of chicks do, including the Hawktua girl. Haley Welch, the Hawktua girl, who also went viral. She had an opportunity to FaceTime her celebrity crush, this Matt Rife guy, on some podcast the other day.
Matt, you're really making a Wish Kids Day today.
Are you dying?
I asked Haley her celebrity crush, and it's,
Did you say, are you 9?
Miss Haley Welch?
Yeah, Miss Haley Welch.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
knows who she is. I'm doing better now. Thanks for the ego boost. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So just play it one more time. The Hawktua girl, if you don't know, went viral because somebody asked her what her favorite thing to do in bed was, and long story short, it was too vulgar to mention on these airwaves, but it just went all over the place. And now her 15 minutes of fame, I feel like, are starting to slowly dwindle.
She's getting the most out of it, though, man.
Oh, sure. I'm not.
She's doing more than the crazy plane lady did with her time, I think.
Yeah, but what did he say? Something about, what are you, 9? At the
Matt, you're really making a Wish Kids Day today.
Are you dying?
Are you dying?
Are you
Celebrity
dying?
crush.
That's even better.
Are you 9?
Are you 9 or are you dying? Whatever. That's hilarious. I got to tell you, I'm not familiar with Matt Rife's work. I hate to be that 48-year-old guy that has to admit, I'm just being honest with our audience. Like, I'd much rather go see Shane Gillis. If I had the choice between seeing Matt Rife and Shane Gillis, I know Shane Gillis. I don't know him personally, but you've watched Shane Gillis.
Shane Gillis's Trump impression.
Man, it's
when he does like foul mouth talking Trump.
Oh, I love it.
It doesn't get any better than that. I'm sorry. On this date, 25 years ago, in 1999, there was a little movie released called The Blair Witch Project.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Did that movie ever do anything for you? I bought into the hype. I heard everybody talking about it. Oh, it's low budget. It's this independent film. It's super scary. I went to see it in the theater, and it sucked.
And I don't think as much attention as it got and as much money as it made, the people that were involved with the making of the movie, or maybe the actors, didn't make squat.
Right. Now, if you've never seen it, the premise of the movie, these filmmakers in 1994 get lost in the woods looking for this scary witch or something, and then their footage was found later, and that became the Blair Witch Project. So here at the Hammer and Nigel show, we decided, all right, if they could have an independent movie that makes a lot of money, so can we. In 1994, college filmmakers went missing in the woods, and their footage was found. I'm so scared. And it made a crap ton of money. And now, the story continues. Hammer and Nigel Films present The Blair Witch Project.
Let's go!
Starring the Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kid stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun.
Doing anything he can to survive, Ric Flair tries to seduce the witches.
Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at it. Learn to love it. I'm not going anywhere.
Watch as Rick struggles in the woods against villains like Chris Christie.
Well, let me tell you something, fat boy. You don't like it? Do something about it.
The Blair Witch Project, coming soon from Hammer and Nigel Films.
Terrifying.
To be the man. You gotta beat the man, baby. And right now, I am the man.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Are you within 5 years of filing for Social Security? Get this, 96% of Americans, 96% forfeit an average of $111,000 in Social Security income. And it's all because, unfortunately, they file for their benefits at the wrong time. Learn how you can avoid this with a free customized Social Security analysis. It's from Bill Demery, your retirement guy right here in Indy.
So if you've saved more than $200,000 for retirement and have not yet filed for Social Security, schedule that free analysis right now by calling Bill Demery, 317-648-5120. Bill Demery. For some people, filing for Social Security early could result in more net income in retirement. The free analysis pinpoints exactly how you could get the most income from Social Security. Bill Demery, 317-648-5120. That's 317-648-5120.
Oh, here comes the neighbor's dog again. You know what that means.
Yeah, the owner will be right behind.
Hey guys, I guess the battery in my fence went out again. Hey, how come your dogs never run off?
We use Dog Watch hidden fences. Their batteries last 2 years.
And they're really quick with the install. About as quick as your dog. He's way up there.
Oh, I'll call as soon as I get my steps in. Catch you later. Lucky!
Call Dog Watch Hidden Fences today for your free estimate. 317-791-0444 or IndieDogWatch.com.
Join the Hammer and Nigel Show for Beer Sample Friday live this Friday at the Indiana State Fair Tap Room. Celebrate the opening of the State Fair and sample Indiana brews and cocktails. Then at 7:30, enjoy the sounds of Three Dog Night at the Hoosier Lottery Free Stage.
Imagine the possibilities of getting the backyard of your dreams. Expand your living space with an Indie Decorative Concrete patio. Indie Decorative Concrete, the patio experts. Big enough to service, small enough to care.
All right, Matt Baer, what's going on?
Yeah, we're looking at the east side. Ramp closed, westbound 72, southbound 465. We're getting pushed to the north right now. Again, that is the east side. Looking at westbound 465, crash before the White River, blocking the left lane, causing stop and go traffic back to I-65. Northbound 65, jammed up right now. This is from Keystone Avenue into the South Split. That's a 17-minute ride. Eastbound 70 at 27 minutes before Belmont into the South Split. Inbound 65 also stopped MLK down to the North Split. Crash east side 42nd Street west of Mithofer Road. That's a crash with injury and entrapment. Traffic sponsored by Indie Decorative Concrete. Imagine the possibilities of getting the backyard of your dreams. Expand your living space with an Indie Decorative Concrete patio. Indie Decorative Concrete, the patio experts, big enough to service, small enough to care. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Coming up here a little bit after 4 o'clock, Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri just unloads on the acting Secret Service director. We've got audio of that, some drama in Beech Grove, all kinds of stuff going on. We'll get to that. It's 88 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hammer, do you know what a bedpan is?
Well, I believe, if my Ball State education is correct here, that's a little pan that's maybe bedside that you can pee and poop in.
Right. I mean, I'll give you a more specific medical definition. A bedpan is a device used as a receptacle for the urine and or feces of a person who is confined to a bed and therefore not able to use a toilet or chamber pot.
Ooh.
It is designed to be used while the patient is lying down, either on their back or side, and is placed under their buttocks or genital area.
I like the term chamber pot. Somebody broke the chamber pot down here on the 4th floor in that bathroom over there. Somebody took a standing up number 2 in the urinal, and the chamber pot hasn't been the same since.
I was hoping we wouldn't have to bring that up because I was the one that had to send the
You
email.
discovered it.
I don't think somebody actually used the urinal as a toilet. I think there was a backup. There's a sewage system backup. That's been known to happen in that bathroom before.
But I can't rule out somebody took a standing up number 2.
You're right.
Like
You're
the
right.
way Ishmael did in Kingpin.
Yeah. Okay, back to the bedpans. Here is the headline out of England. A woman's prized collection of 163 bedpans failed to sell at auction.
Oh, no.
77-year-old woman named Mary trying to offload her unique collection of bedpans. Each one is different. She's been collecting them for 40 years. She bought her first bedpan at the Salvation Army in the 80s, decided to keep buying more because, quote, I just wanted to collect something different, and it snowballed. Ever hear of baseball cards, lady?
Knitting? I don't know.
I guess that's... I mean, this is something different, though. Been collecting baseball cards. Yeah, crochet is probably a common hobby, or, bedpans.
So at 163, she decided to sell. At what point?
Yeah.
What was the breaking point for her? Was she like, man, I think 162 is a good number. I swear to God, if I get one more, I'm just going to sell all of these.
She put them up, and shockingly, no one bid on them, even though she says they're, quote, clean washed and in fantastic condition.
What was the asking price? I'm just curious.
That's a good question. It doesn't have this on here. It doesn't have it in the story.
Like having an odd collection of bedpans.
When nobody bid on it.
Right. Like if you're asking like $10,000 for that, well then no one's going to pay that. But if it's like $50, there might be some weirdo out there. It's like, you know what? $50, I'll take it. 163 bedpans, I'll put them all around my bed at the same time, and I'll never have to get up again. Chamber pot my ass. I'll just roll over and just use the bedpans.
A buddy of mine had a horrible, you know him, you've met him. He had a horrible gout in his feet. And so you guys, if you've ever had gout, it's just painful. Especially
foot pain hurts.
Like you can't make it to the bathroom. So he would lay on the couch and keep a empty jug, shall we say, next to the couch.
Did he make it in the jug every time?
There's no confirmation. There's no guarantee that there was.
There's no guarantee.
There wasn't some splatter.
Some spillage.
If you watched Trailer Park Boys, there's specific names for these kinds of jugs. Pee jugs.
Yes.
But
if you sit next to him on the couch, to put it in SeaWorld terms, you're in the splash zone.
I can almost guarantee you within 0.000%, 0.01%, that if I was at somebody's house and they had a pee jug next to them and they started using it, I would not be on the same couch as they were when they were using it.
I love the fact that you saw the pee jug and you were willing to hang out there for a little while longer until he had to use it. Like just seeing it there wasn't enough for you to get the hell out of there. You had to see him in action, and that's where Nigel draws the line.
That's right. Like, all right, I'm leaving. I thought this was all a joke, but apparently not. But gout, I'm telling you, it's debilitating.
It is. It absolutely is. Allison, I think we need the Attorney General from Indiana to kick us off with some legal stuff.
Yeah.
Legal stuff.
Crime, punishment, judges, legal stuff.
Legal stuff.
He's going to start charging us for them.
Dateline, Florida. Police officers in Florida pulled over a vehicle when they saw the driver wasn't wearing a seatbelt.
Okay.
During the traffic stop, they noticed the passenger was moving things around very suspiciously.
Sure, trying to hide some stuff, probably.
The 41-year-old woman was named Lauren. The police officer spotted drug paraphernalia, so then they did a full search of the vehicle.
Okay. Nothing unusual there, especially in Florida.
Inside Lauren's purse, they found a bag labeled Bag of Drugs. And inside, bag of drugs.
Yeah.
Crack.
Drugs.
Powdered cocaine, crystal meth, Xanax, and other drugs. There was also a needle, straws, a metal spoon, 4 glass pipes. So it truly was indeed bag of drugs.
I wonder if she would have just labeled the bag makeup. It would have gone unnoticed by the police officer.
I almost respect the fact that she's so organized, right? I bet everything in her apartment has a label on it. I bet every one of her, things on her computer desktop has a folder. And by God, every one of her drugs goes into the bag labeled bag of drugs. Do not go anywhere. Coming up next, man, got a lot of drama in my old stomping grounds, Beech Grove, Indiana. We got to talk about this lunatic still trolling the cookie lady that we had in yesterday and the fight at the high school. We got a lot to get to. It's coming up next.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Remember the big bad wolf? Michaelis does. Because around here, all that huffing and puffing and blowing houses down stuff comes in the form of rain, wind, and hail. And no matter what your structure is made of, Michaelis is made of first responders and craftsmen who can restore it to better than new condition. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Call 844-FIX-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
To celebrate Team USA going for gold, Xfinity is offering a gold medal deal. Now, through August 11th, get our best offer yet with 300 megabit Xfinity internet and 1 line of unlimited mobile for just $35 a month for a year and a free 5G phone. And the action doesn't stop there. Save on some of the biggest names in streaming by adding the new Xfinity Stream Saver with Peacock, Apple TV Plus, and Netflix for just $15 a month. Don't wait. When the Olympic Games end, so does this deal. Go to Xfinity.com/Team USA. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Get the fastest connection to Paris with Xfinity, proud partner of Team USA.
Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto-pay with stored bank account. Equipment tax and fees extra and subject to change. After promo, regular rates apply to internet and mobile. Stream Saver price subject to change. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity Internet. Actual speeds vary and not guaranteed. Free 5G phone requires eligible trade-in. Select models only.
Hey, it's Rob. If you want to grow your hair back, check out the precision and accuracy of the Artist Robotic FUE at We Grow Hair Indie. You'll be amazed at the permanent natural results you can get and get back to work ASAP. Darren Andrews, Clinic Director of We Grow Hair Indie, is here to tell us more.
The Artist Robotic FUE hair transplant at We Grow Hair Indie, one of the most sophisticated hair transplant procedures available. The accuracy and the precision of the Artist Robotic FUE is what clients love the most. Get the results you want with our Artist FUE or multi-unit hair grafting procedure.
Don't wait. Call today and find out more about the Artist Robotic FUE at WeGrowHairIndie.com. Call 317-522-2995, 317-522-2995 for your evaluation, 317-522-2995, and grow your hair back today.
Coming up in 2 minutes, where an EF2 tornado touched down in Indiana Monday night. A Marine from Avon who died in a training accident in California last Saturday. And the defense team in the Delphi trial claims to have proof of their client's innocence, but says sorting through the evidence is a headache. That's coming up after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis.
Dueling
at rallies. Lisa Brady, Fox News. Republican vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance campaigning in Nevada.
This is a state that former President Trump has never won. We expect the Senator, J.D. Vance, now the VP nominee, to spend a lot of time here along with former President Trump in the run-up to November because recent trends suggest that maybe they could have victory here come Election Day.
Fox Business's Grady Trimble in Las Vegas. Meantime, Vice President Kamala Harris is set to rally in Atlanta, telling reporters earlier she has not yet decided on a running mate. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro is on the short list.
Thanks to the Biden-Harris administration, we will now, over the course of the next 5 years, connect every one of those 276,000 homes and businesses to high-speed internet.
Emphasizing on how his own economic agenda aligns with President Biden's and giving some credit to that infrastructure law. Harris, meantime, has taken a 1-point lead over former President Trump in a new Reuters Ipsos poll. That's within the margin of error, but closing a gap that had opened in the final weeks of President Biden's re-election bid. The White House says it does not believe all-out war is inevitable as Israel strikes back at Hezbollah over the weekend rocket attack that killed 12 children and teens in the Golan Heights. State Department Deputy Spokesman Vedant Patel.
Our commitment to Israel's security is ironclad. It's ironclad in the context of any threat that it faces from the Iranian regime itself or malign proxy groups like Hezbollah.
Today's Israeli airstrike in Beirut targeting a Hezbollah commander that it blames for that rocket attack. Hezbollah has denied responsibility. A mixed day overall on Wall Street as the Fed begins a 2-day meeting. The Dow rallying in the end, up 203 points at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
An EF2. Mostly sunny, 89 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Your radar's clear. Temps drop to the lower 70s tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending. At 4:02, a tornado touchdown in Madison County Monday, says Aaron Updike with the National Weather Service.
So we currently have a survey team out right now looking at the damage, and based on what they saw, they were able to distinguish circulation-type motions.
The Madison County School Administration building took some damage in the storm. We've got hot and humid weather the next few days with still some chances for severe weather through Thursday. A man from Avon died last Saturday during a training exercise at a base in California. Marine Staff Sergeant Jerry Betzold passed after he was sent to a hospital when some sort of vehicle rolled over during training. More specific info on what exactly happened has not been shared. It's not clear if anyone else was hurt either. Betzold had been a Marine since 2016. 2 children were involved in a shots fired incident. Ryan Hedrick reports.
Indy Metro Police say it was a man who put the gun into their hands. Police say they responded to a call at an apartment complex on the city's northeast side. Witnesses told them that he was shooting a gun into the air and then handed it to the kids to do the same thing. The 3 of them ran back into an apartment when the cops showed up. IMPD used its SWAT team to get them out of the apartment. Jeffrey Ware is facing several charges related to the incident. Ware has an extensive criminal past. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The defense team of the Delphi murders trial wants sanctions for the prosecution and how evidence has been organized, or rather disorganized. They said trying to look through 26 terabytes of evidence could be compared to finding a needle in a haystack. The defense wants sanctions for that disorganization. The prosecution believes the whole thing is a non-issue. The first motion filed today was also to get suspect Richard Allen out of solitary confinement and over to the Cass County Jail. A group of Hoosier Democrats going on a tour around Indiana. Sam Fritz tells you what it's about.
They call themselves the Indiana Rural Summit, and they are traveling around the Hoosier State trying to rally voters in districts that they view as being gerrymandered or that usually have uncontested races. Their first stop is on August 4th at Strassenfest in Jasper, where the Rural Summit will be supporting House District 63 candidate Teresa Kendall. The Rural Summit press release says that Indiana has the lowest voter turnout in the country. It also has a large number of unopposed races, with 26 House seats currently uncontested. Sam Fritz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:04.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-511-3535. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, A $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider, 800-511-3535. That's 800-511-3535. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-511-3535.
With traffic in the 5s at 4:05, what's going on, Matt Bear?
Harrison, we are looking at the east side at a ramp closed westbound 72 southbound 465. That's because of a crash. Traffic being pushed to northbound 465. South side crash westbound 465 before the White River. Left lane is blocked and traffic is stop and go back to US 31 east. Looking at northbound 65 jammed up. After 465 up to the south split for 14 minutes. Eastbound 70 also stopped from Tibbs Avenue into the south split for 24 minutes. Looking at a crash, this is Keystone Avenue at 34th and a crash on the east side, 42nd Street west of Mithofer. Traffic sponsored by the Indianapolis Men's Clinic. Guys, solve your ED today with an intimacy guarantee only at the Indianapolis Men's Clinic. If you don't perform, you don't pay. Call the Indianapolis Men's Clinic at 999-9000. That's 999-9000. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. And here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Sunny, hot, and humid for the day today. We'll see highs in the upper 80s, but feels like temperatures into the upper 90s. Tonight's showers and thunderstorms possible south and west of Indy with lows near 71. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's...
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here. Got a couple of updates from your old stomping grounds, ladies and gentlemen. Jason Hammer, also known as the unofficial mayor of Beech Grove. Where do you want to start?
Let's start with the bakery that we had in yesterday. So we had Gwendolyn Lee Bakery come in here yesterday. They make amazing cupcakes and cakes and cookies, and they make them, based on the orders that they receive. Somebody said, hey, can you make me Trump cookies with his mugshot on it?
Yeah, with like a jail cell.
Right. And they said, sure. And they put a picture of it on social media, and everybody was freaking out. We had the lady, the owner Liz, on our show yesterday.
Very nice woman.
And she's awesome. And she will, she's a business. If you want Kamala cookies, she'll make those. If you want whatever, she's down to do whatever you want.
Not against making a gay cake.
Right.
Although, if you were, that would be, in my opinion, this is, free market. You don't have to be forced to make anything you don't want to, but she did. She was an equal opportunity, employer. Right. Or a business.
She's a businesswoman.
Yeah, whatever you wanted,
somebody ordered Trump cookies and they made them. So we had her on here yesterday, and she was a delight. She brought some treats, which were delicious. And I told you, there were lunatics on the Townie page that are still melting down.
Yeah.
And I don't really think you believed me until I sent you some screenshots.
Those were a little disturbing. Yeah, I didn't quite understand it, actually. I'm still trying to process it. Are we reading these out loud? Or
No, but if you want to see what we're talking about, go to the Facebook page, facebook.com/Hammer and Nigel. Now, again, Zucker Nerd has us restricted, so you're going to have to physically go there. I hate the fact that like 5 years ago, when I look at on our memories things that pops up, we have Facebook posts that are getting like 600, 700 likes and 150, 200 shares. Now we're lucky if we get 10 or 20 people because of Zucker Nerd. So you physically have to go there. Facebook.com/Hammer and Nigel.
Here, I'll read one that really offended me from this lunatic, Chrissy. Hammer and Nigel are monsters, 255-plus-year-old men who pretend to act like college students for laughs. That's the whole thing that pissed me off. 55-plus? What are you kidding me, Chrissy?
No silver fox here, baby.
No way. I'm 48 years old, idiot.
And I'm 46.
Yeah.
Chrissy.
Out of all the things that, again, you can see some pretty vicious, gross
made
stuff
up crap.
We could probably take her to court on.
Right. There's some libelous stuff that she accuses us of.
Again, the worst to me was 55 plus. So anyway, this is all in relation to us coming to the defense of the woman that cooked the Trump cookies.
Right. The open market where she, completed an order that was requested of her. This lunatic, this Chrissy woman, man, this is probably who J.D. Vance was talking about. Like the crazy cat lady that, just probably spends her time alone. I have no idea. But if you want to see some of the horrific things this lunatic was saying about us just because we had her on the show, my God, go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Hammer and Nigel. Please leave a comment when you're there. Zuckerberg sucks or Zuck sucks.
Hammer and Nigel spent months boycotting beer. They did entire shows on boycotting Target. Seems hypocritical.
First of all, we drink every day. We're the people that bring you Beer Sample Friday. We've never called for a boycott. We've laughed at a few. And could you imagine spending 4 hours on the radio on one subject? A full 4-hour radio show talking about Target?
Oh, no, I can imagine spending 3 minutes on it. It was brutal when I had to do it back then.
So, yeah, this lunatic, I'm still toying with the idea if we want to lawyer up and get her for some libel stuff.
She's calling us some really... I judge Hammer and Nigel. Every one of them should be put in prison. I definitely see my way to... well, whatever. Okay. You can see it again, Hammer and Nigel, facebook.com/Hammer and Nigel.
Also, from my old stomping grounds at Beech Grove, story that made headlines yesterday, and, my phone started blowing up because, again, I am a Beech Grove High School alum. I'm in the High School Hall of Fame. My son was the president. My youngest son still goes to the high school. So when something happens in the Grove, as the unofficial mayor, I feel like I have to address it.
And you know the actual mayor.
Yes.
You
Mayor
talked about it
Kaufman.
yesterday.
Nice dude. Yeah. Good dude. But the unofficial mayor is me. Let's not, beat any bones about it here. So there was a fight, and I don't even really want to call it a fight. It was an assault at the high school, and the video is pretty rough to watch. I sent you the video last night, Nige.
I barely got through it. I don't like that crap, man.
And I don't know what led to it, and maybe we can find out in about an hour from now when the mother of the victim joins this show. But there was some situation where a couple angry students barged into a classroom, got another student, threw him into a closet and beat the hell out of him.
Wait a minute. They weren't even in the same classroom as this kid they beat the crap out of? They came, walked down the hallway and entered a different classroom to come after this kid?
So this is the story that I've been told.
Okay,
and
I
we're
understand.
officially going to get some answers here at 5:06 when the mom of the victim joins the show.
There's footage of the assault.
Right. And the mom has questions about why wasn't someone there to break that up? Was there a teacher in the classroom? And honestly, you could also spin this as what could be done. Like the video that I watched, that's assault. And those perpetrators need to be locked up. But in Ryan Mears' justice system, that's probably not going to happen.
Well, juveniles.
Right. But that was not a juvenile attack. That was a vicious attack.
Good point.
On that video. Those kids need to be locked up somewhere. I don't care if it's juvenile hall or if it's a whatever. Some sort of justice has to be done. So we're going to have the FOP president, Rick Snyder, on with us here at 4:35. I booked him to talk about the numbers of IMPD, but I also want to get his opinion on what could be done with situations like that. And plus, let's be honest, teachers now have had their hands tied by rules and regulations. Many schools tell their teachers, you are not to get in the middle of a fight and break it up.
I don't know, man. If I'm a teacher and I see a bunch of big kids beating up on a smaller kid and the kid's getting pummeled, I'm going to have to get involved.
Same.
Maybe easier said than done from my perspective. You don't want to lose your job if you're a teacher, but I can't just watch an assault take place in my own classroom. And we were talking to Tony Kinnett, host of the Tony Kinnett Cast, who is on weeknights here on WIBC after our show at 7 o'clock, who is a former IPS administrator, confirmed as much, saying teachers aren't allowed to intervene. Boy, I remember back in the 90s when there would be fights breaking out at little old Tri-West High School, man. Teachers would be there instantly in the middle of everything.
Throwing people out like Stone Cold in the Royal Rumble.
Absolutely.
But now, if you lay a single hand on little Johnny or little Jane, they're going to lawyer up.
Is that the policy? Is that really the policy?
For a lot of places, it is. So many layers to this story. Again, there's a lot of hearsay, but we're going to get the mom on at 5:06. I've also got a statement from the school as well. So stick around for that. In case you missed it earlier, there was a hearing in Washington with the acting Secret Service director, Ronald Rowe Jr. Now, the former Secret Service director, she resigned in disgrace about a week ago.
This was after Donald Trump was almost murdered during a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, an assassination attempt.
And a father was murdered.
Yes.
Multiple
Yes.
other people were struck with bullets. So the acting Secret Service director, Ronald Rowe Jr., answering questions today. And Josh Hawley of Missouri, he wants to know, okay, it's been, 16, 17 days. Has anybody been fired for this complete lapse in security?
You're asking me, Senator, to completely make a rush to judgment about somebody failing. I acknowledge this was a failure of the
Is it
Secret
not
Service.
prima facie that somebody has failed? A former president was shot.
Sir, this could have been our Texas school book depository. I have lost sleep over that for the last 17 days,
Then
just like
fire
you have.
somebody to
and I will
hold
tell
them
you,
accountable.
Senator, I will tell you, Senator, that I will not rush to judgment, that people will be held accountable, and I will do so with integrity and not rush to judgment and put people
I can't believe
unfairly
that you
persecuted.
are unfairly persecuted.
Unfairly,
We've got people
sir.
who are
We
dead.
have to be able to have a proper investigation into this, Senator.
You said earlier that you've got to make sure that your protocols are followed, and unless there's a protocol violation, people wouldn't be disciplined. I would just say to you, I don't really care that much about your protocols. I think if your protocols don't provide for the fact that when a former president is shot, when an American is killed, when other rally goers, innocent people who just showed up on the day, when they are shot at and critically wounded, if that isn't a protocol violation prima facie, you should revise your protocols.
Wow. Yeah, I'm sure there's probably a couple people within the Secret Service organization there on that day that you could point at and say, yeah, let's go ahead and call it quits.
Your services are no longer needed.
Right. Following protocol, investigation, fine, but I am within 100% certainty that there's some people there that didn't do their job or did it poorly.
Right. Going back to the lunatic that was calling us names, we invited her on the show.
You did?
I invited
Did she
lunatic
respond?
Chrissy to come on the show, and I never heard back.
Of course.
So there you go.
Of course not.
Matt Baer, what's up?
Looking at the east side, ramp closed westbound 72, southbound 465. That's because of a crash. Traffic being diverted to northbound 465. Looking at northbound 65, stop and go traffic right now. Coming up from the south side, 15 minutes south Keystone Avenue to the south split. Westbound 465 on the south side, crash clear. Before the White River, still stop traffic from Harding back to US 31. Eastbound 70 jammed up 21 minutes from Tibbs to the south split. And eastbound 465 stop and go traffic after 31 down to East 56th Street. Traffic sponsored by the Indianapolis Men's Clinic. Guys, solve your ED today with an intimacy guarantee only at the Indianapolis Men's Clinic. If you don't perform, you don't pay. Call the Indianapolis Men's Clinic at 999-9000. That's 999-9000. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Jump to our YouTube feed. Go to YouTube, look for WIBC's official channel. They've got the Hammer and Nigel show streaming on it. We got in-studio cameras. You can hear the show. Hit that like button. Let us know that you're listening to the show. We need more people to like us on YouTube. Right now, we got sunshine, 88 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Is this anything? Next.
Galaxy Concrete Coatings came in, turned my concrete garage floor into something brand new and beautiful and glossy, and it is 4 times as strong than it was previously. My old garage floor was just so gross and cracked and unmaintained and old, Galaxy Concrete Garage Coatings came in as little as a day and turned my garage floor into something out of this world. Now I want them to come in and do my basement, my furnace room down in my basement could be turned into something awesome as well. And they can do your garage, basement, pool deck, or any indoor, outdoor area concrete. They don't use epoxy. They use something called polyurea, which is the premium standard for any types of these concrete coatings. GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com or 751-9070.
Hey, it's Rob. If you want to grow your hair back, check out the precision and accuracy of the Artist Robotic FUE at We Grow Hair Indie. You'll be amazed at the permanent natural results you can get and get back to work ASAP. Darren Andrews, Clinic Director of We Grow Hair Indie, is here to tell us more.
The Artist Robotic FUE hair transplant at We Grow Hair Indie, one of the most sophisticated hair transplant procedures available. The accuracy and the precision of the Artist Robotic FUE is what clients love the most. Get the results you want with our Artist FUE or multi-unit hair grafting procedure.
Don't wait. Call today and find out more about the Artist Robotic FUE at WeGrowHairIndie.com. Call 317-522-2995, 317-522-2995 for your evaluation, 317-522-2995, and grow your hair back today.
Yeah, Jay's Lobster and Fish Market in the Garage Food Hall, downtown Indy, Bottle Works District. Man, oh man, they specialize in those lobster rolls, but they also serve up some incredible crab and shrimp rolls as well.
And if you go over to the Garage Food Hall in the Bottle Works District, check out Palavana Cubano, authentic Cuban food, home of the Cuban Reuben, and the best, the strongest, the most awesome coffee in Indy. Palavana Cubano, tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter of Indianapolis, 317-827-0808.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors.
Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
This hour on WIBC, powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Do it.
Is this anything? I think I already know what your answer is going to be, but I'm going to fire it at you anyway. A guy who just got a job at Chipotle in Georgia says he forgot to take the trash out. He was a new employee, forgot to take the trash out. And his manager chased him with a gun.
Oh, no. Who's his manager? Tackleberry from Police Academy?
Here's Quentin talking about being threatened at gunpoint.
You write a person up that forget to do that, face them down and pull a gun. That's otherworld. They might have to give me some medicine to help me sleep, because every time I close my eyes, I'm in that moment where I'm staring at death.
Oh, Quentin is setting himself up for a lawsuit. Probably deserved. Your manager is pointing a gun at you because you didn't take the trash out. That manager is somebody that takes his job very seriously.
Now, to be fair, that's the cleanest Chipotle in Georgia.
No kidding.
I promise you, there's not a speck of dirt on that floor at that Chipotle.
I would eat a burrito off the toilet if given the opportunity. That is, you're right. Yeah, that's something. That guy, the manager is going to get fired, probably arrested, gun confiscation. And then there's just a little piece of me, just a little cynical kind of side of my brain that said, well, was Quentin being an a-hole?
How many times did you tell Quentin to take the trash out?
What's the count here?
Did he tell him ahead of time? If I have to say it one more time, I'm going to shoot you. And there's Quentin walking out to his car at the end of the night. First day done, brand new employee.
Well,
and here comes the manager holding his
is
gun sideways like in gangster movies.
A legitimate question. That is a legitimate point for sure.
Is this anything? A guy in New York got arrested after he passed out on some subway stairs with a gun sticking out of his waistband. God, how gross would that be, passing out on the subway stairs? That's more disturbing than anything about the firearm. Here's the moment that the NYPD officers grabbed him and took him into custody.
You all right? Everything good? You good? Yes. Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
You know you got a gun in your pants, right, dude? How old is the joke? Is that anything in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? That's what I'm thinking of when I he's got a gun in his pants, right? He's got a gun in his waistband. Is that a gun in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? How old is that joke?
Is that a generational thing? Like, Allison, have you ever heard that joke? Does that joke resonate with you?
Yeah, I've heard the joke.
Okay. I just want to make sure, some things time out, I don't know, take my wife, please. Nobody says that anymore. But that was a big thing for a while. I didn't know, hey, is that a gun in your pants, or if you're happy to see me was one of those things that times out.
How old is is that something in your pants, or are you happy?
Are you Googling it right now?
Joke. I don't know if this is, let's see. I'm not getting anything on
Back in Mesopotamia, in the early portions of civilization, cave writings had that same joke.
It was in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Is that a rabbit in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
Ah.
The Ace Ventura.
Your gun is digging into my hip.
Yeah. Now, certainly that's not the first time that joke was made, but okay. Anyway, that's I don't have necessarily anything about cops waking a guy up in the subway in New York with a gun in his pocket, but these are the things that kind of crossed my mind. When was the first time is that a something or other in your pants, or are you just happy to see me joke?
Could you imagine the filth of laying down on the stairs at the subway station in New York?
Now, wait a minute. Not if it was the guy from Chipotle running the show. If he was the custodian there, it'd be crystal clean.
The cleanest damn subway you've ever seen. Last one. Is this anything? The Osborne family has apologized to Britney Spears for their comments that they made a couple weeks ago about her dancing videos that she puts on Instagram. They posted this preview to their new podcast.
Can we apologize to Britney Spears?
Oh, yeah, Britney, I really owe you an apology. I'm so sorry for making that comment. However, it would be better if you didn't do the same dance every day. Yeah. Change a few movements.
Britney, never stop dancing. I love your dancing. It makes you happy, and I'm so sorry if any of us offended you.
Listen, I like Britney.
I love Britney.
I love Britney Spears.
Okay, I'm done. For people that don't have context, the Osbournes were making fun of Britney Spears in an Instagram account because she always puts on videos of her dancing and spinning, sometimes nude. So I'm not mad at her at all. I quite enjoy it. No, the Osbournes are thinking they're piggybacking on that, trying to make themselves relevant again by commenting on her Instagram, and there's some sort of feud now. Britney Spears posted something, and they still seem to be laughing at her.
Right.
I don't think the Osbournes have been relevant for years.
And if I'm Britney, I'm looking at old Ozzy going, at least I don't pee myself. I may be a little bat crap crazy. I might spin around with my hot ass, but I don't pee myself, at least in public. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
High five. Up top. Heck yeah.
Dave's company just got the first ever 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business.
Yeah, 5 years.
It's 5 years of gig speed internet.
High five for gig speed.
5 years of advanced security.
Security win.
And 5 years of a great rate that won't change.
Our rate ain't changing.
All from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
There it is.
He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread.
Woohoo!
Now he's got savings.
I'm so excited.
Yep. Dave's feeling it, but it's only for a limited time, so don't wait. Switch today and ask how to get the first ever 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business. Powering 5 years of savings. Powering possibilities. Comcast Business.
And it's hurting, but I am not stopping. Woo!
Ends 8/21/24. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge for new customers on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
I'm a grandson, a son. I'm an employee and a mentor. I'm a father to 2 beautiful kids and a husband to an amazing wife. And I have a substance use disorder. In other words, I'm living in recovery with an addiction. And now that you know, will you let it change how you see me? It's okay to see my addiction, but I want you to know it's people choosing to see me as a person that changed my life.
See the person, not just their disease. Learn more at cbeyondtheaddiction.org.
I knew how to change my driver's license. Now, so before I even walked in there, I was like, oh God, this line is gonna be really long. They're gonna be mean. And then you wait for 9 hours and they're like, here, what do you want? License? Wrong line! Get to the end of the next line!
Tim Brewer, the Survival with Laughter Tour. Special guest, Joe Sib. Friday, August 2nd. Clues Memorial Hall. Tickets on sale now at butlerartcenter.org. 93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
Maybe some more storms later. 90 degrees with a few clouds over the monuments. You've got a clear radar downtown. Low of 72 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:31. Chances for severe weather are going to linger the next few days.
We're going to be in this pattern where we get these thunderstorm complexes that will develop west of here and move into the Ohio Valley. We're still uncertain on exactly what parts of Indiana are going to be impacted.
Aaron Updike with the National Weather Service says expect heat and humidity, at least when it's not raining. An EF2 tornado was confirmed in Madison County Monday. 2 people on a motorcycle died in a crash Monday night. Johnson County Sheriff Dwayne Burgess says they have evidence to believe the motorcycle driver hit a Ford F-450 truck after running a red light.
That driver was just on his way home, and it's just an unfortunate accident that they struck his vehicle. No alcohol is suspected with that driver.
He says witnesses at the scene were able to corroborate the truck driver's story. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre says President Biden is working on naming a new Secret Service director after Kimberly Cheadle resigned last week.
The president understands how important it is to fulfill this role, to have someone who's experienced, and so he's taking this very seriously, like he does any other appointment that he makes within the administration.
Ronald Rose, the current acting director, he called the assassination attempt of former President Donald Trump a failure of the Secret Service while on Capitol Hill today. The IDF's treatment of Palestinians in the Middle East is something the U.S. is keeping an eye on, says State Department Principal Deputy Spokesman Vedant Patel.
The reports of abuse are deeply concerning, and we have been clear and consistent with Israel and the IDF that they need to treat all detainees humanely and with dignity in accordance with humanitarian law.
He says the State Department doesn't have any more updates about a recent Hezbollah strike in Beirut, other than Israel has every right to defend itself. And lawyers for Delphi murder suspect Richard Allen want him moved out of solitary confinement, a motion that was filed during a hearing today to send Allen to the Cass County Jail. The defense believes doing that would be better for their client's mental state. Another motion was filed by the defense complaining about how evidence has been organized by the prosecution. They would like some sanctions there. And a mixed day in the market. The Dow up by 203 to 40,743. The Nasdaq down by 222, finishing at 17,147. At the S&P 500, slipping by 27 points, closing at 5,436. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:33.
Life's full of unexpected joys, like problems with water. That's why there's Michaelis, a crew of 24/7 experts who are rescue ready, day or night. One phone call for a gazillion disasters, from frozen pipes and sewer backups to your teenager pleading ignorance on the proper use of a plunger. At Michaelis, they know that water damage waits for no one. Their fleet of trucks is, well, fleet. Over 3 decades of finding the source of the problem, then cleaning up, drying out, and restoring your home or business to better than new condition. That's Michaelis, fully licensed and insured, and fully empathetic to your anxiety, including dealing with insurance claims. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Call 844-FIX-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
With traffic at 434, what's going on, Matt Bear?
Harrison Stall on the northeast side has us boxed in. It's southbound 465 after East 71st Street. Left lane is blocked and traffic is jammed all the way back to Meridian 31. Delayed time is at 53 minutes. Looking at northbound 65, stop traffic from 465 up to the South Split, 18-minute ride. At eastbound 70, also stopped Harding Street to the South Split for 26 minutes. Inbound 65 jammed MLK to Meridian Penn. South side, eastbound 465 stop from 31 to I-65, and a ramp closes westbound 72, southbound 465 on the east side because of a crash. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Imagine the possibilities of getting the backyard of your dreams. Expand your living space with an Indy Decorative Concrete patio. Indy Decorative Concrete, the patio experts, big enough to service, small enough to care. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
A few showers and storms are possible tonight with lows down in the low 70s. The showers and storms are likely to start for our Wednesday before they continue in an on-off fashion during the afternoon nighttime hours with a low risk for damaging winds. Highs near 90 with triple-digit heat index values in some spots as well. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna from 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox. On the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hey there, I'm Nigel. Hammer's over there with a special guest on the hotline.
Rick Snyder is the president of the Fraternal Order of Police Lodge 86 here in Indy. Rick, I think the last time we spoke a number of months ago, we were talking about how IMPD was down around 300 to 350 officers, which is a pretty big deal. A few months have gone by since we've had a conversation. What's the update now?
Yeah, guys, you'll recall that back at the end of April, beginning of May, we actually erected a billboard in downtown Indianapolis, which highlighted this issue. We said that we were 350 officers down at that point in time. And since then, we have now lost 51 more officers since that billboard went up. So we are now down about 401 officers for the entire IMPD. Our staffing levels are at a level the likes of which most of our officers have never seen. And it really highlights this issue that we have got to stop the bleeding of our officers that are leaving IMPD, going to other agencies, or leaving the profession altogether.
So, million-dollar question, why is this happening? When these officers leave, it feels like they're not leaving to just get out of law enforcement. They're going to other departments. Why is this happening? What are they saying?
Well, you know, that's one of the interesting things is that we have, and it's been well documented in public reports, every other police agency in the state, especially in the surrounding counties in the central Indiana region, they are competing for our officers. They will tell you, and the leaders of those agencies will tell you, that our officers are some of the best trained in the state and some of the most experienced officers in our state as well, due to the high volume of calls and runs for service and the diversity of calls for service that we get in our city. So many of these other agencies are providing better or at least competitive pay. They're providing with top of the line equipment for those officers. They're also offering better schedules. And the most important thing is our officers are finding they get higher and stronger levels of support from the communities that they serve in these surrounding counties. That really places Indianapolis into this box of we really have to decide what we're going to do here. How do we stop the bleed of the police officers first, meaning retain the officers that we have before we can ever begin to recruit new officers? Guys, you got to remember that Mayor of Indianapolis, Joe Hogsett, last October, just prior to the election, made clear that our staffing levels were too low. In fact, he said we needed 100 more police officers, and he was going to provide that funding through federal grants for that to occur, which would raise our overall staffing to a level of 1,843 officers. That's just for bare bones policing, you guys. Since then, we've lost all these additional officers, and no one is taking assertive steps to incentivize our officers to stay here. So what we have been saying is, listen, you got to understand what the equivalency of this is. When we're talking about 401 officers, what does that mean? Listen, that's the equivalent of losing, just shutting down our entire Southwest District, Northwest District, Downtown District, and eliminating every recruit officer we have in the academy right now. That's the equivalent of what we're talking about how short we are. So what that means is we are down 22% from the bare bones policing levels that the mayor said we needed. And worse yet, 34% of the remaining police officers that we have are eligible to retire and walk out the door today.
What's the recruiting package look like at this point for an IMPD officer? Say someone meets the requirements. What are the initial steps somebody can take, and what can they expect in terms of compensation when making the big decision to become a law enforcement officer for the...
Well, one of the things that we do in Indianapolis that we don't talk enough about is we do have the best trained officers in the state. We invest a lot into the training and professionalism of our officers. And as a result of that, that's one of the things that we should be able to tout to candidates for law enforcement. That when you come here, you can be the best amongst the best. The challenge is this. Many of these other agencies now are raising their starting pay for their officers to outpace what Indianapolis is able to do. And then we have police agencies like the Indiana State Police. Again, I credit Superintendent Doug Carter. He saw what was coming over the horizon, and he got the state legislature to pass a 30 to 40% pay raise for Indiana State troopers so that they could then incentivize the recruits that we would be getting to go to the Indiana State Police. As a result, they're swearing in a class, I believe, of 40 new troopers here within the week, and Indianapolis has seven recruits in our academy right now, and I think it clearly highlights the distinction that officers are making, candidates are making when they're choosing where to go. We've made clear this is simple economics. The demand for officers in the state of Indiana is outpacing the supply, and therefore the competition is high, and Indianapolis has to decide what it's going to do. Are we going to continue bleeding off the officers that we have and having to reduce services to our community, or are we going to get aggressive about this and make sure that we not only compete but retain the officers that we have? And, guys, that's the important point. Chief of Police Chris Bailey made clear that if and when we dipped below 1,500 officers, we're at 1,442. If and when we dipped below that, he said that we would be required to reduce our services. People ask, what does that mean? That means things like our traffic enforcement gets reduced, proactive traffic enforcement. Our MCAT teams that you've heard about, the mobile crisis assistant teams for mental health, those get reduced or eliminated. Our homeless units, our GREAT program, which is actually our gang resistance education and training programs, those are on the chopping block. And don't forget, guys, we've already eliminated our gangs section, and we've also had public reports of eliminating our arson units. This then leads to other communities that we've seen across the nation where we will have officers stop responding to property damage crashes, property crimes like burglaries and so forth. And you've seen in cities like San Francisco where they have no police reporting or prosecution for theft under $1,000, and you have shoplifters going in with a calculator to make sure they're staying under that threshold. Those are the kinds of things that we're on the cusp of starting to approach. And then another thing is not responding to alarms like business alarms, residential alarms, unless there is a known forced entry that has occurred. Guys, when we start reaching those points, we are swirling the drain, and your capital city of your state is coming unglued. We've got to have strong decisions about how we move forward.
Rick Snyder is our guest, the president of the Fraternal Order of Police, Lodge 86 here in Indy. Rick, I feel like I'd be doing our audience a disservice if I didn't just ask this flat out right to you. Are the reason officers leaving because of Ryan Mears and Joe Hogsett? Ryan Mears allowing violent repeat offenders to get right back out on the street, and Joe Hogsett as the mayor not really appearing like he's got the police department's back, settling with the family of Drayshawn Reed, things like that. How big of a factor is that?
Well, no doubt morale plays a role. Guys, remember the last climate survey we did, over 90% of our police officers said they were suffering from low levels of morale and did not believe that they had the support that they needed from the city. In addition to that, we had things that compound that, like the Stoner effect that we warned of after the sentencing by Judge Mark Stoner on the perpetrator and killer of Officer Bree Ann Leaf. I said then we would see more officers leave as a result of that, and 51 more officers have left. How many were directly tied to that? I would say a significant number that decided to go to other agencies. And listen, we are in a county, remember, we're well known for this, where you do the crime and you get no time. There's no accountability for repeat violent offenders. We have revolving door activists in our political decision-making structure. And that's compounded with a media filled with crime deniers that support soft-on crime practices. Guys, we have people that are saying, hey, crime is actually going down when we are still in our fifth straight year of 200-plus homicides in this city. The point in that is this, is that when people say crime is going down because they take a snapshot in time and we're a few less homicides than what we were at this point in time last year, we're still at record levels, guys. That's akin to saying that gas prices are going way down because they're at $3.90 instead of $4 a gallon. They're still at record levels high. So why don't we be bold about this? Why don't we have somebody step forward and say we're putting forward a vision of below 100 homicides in the city of Indianapolis? We've done that before. We did it as recently as 2012, and it is possible. Instead, we give this sense that 200-plus homicides is the new norm in this city, but it's only occurred for the last 5 years and over 200-plus years of our existence.
Rick, last thing here before we let you go. Got about a minute left, and I don't know if you can answer this or not, but I'm going to throw it your way. I watched this video of this assault on a student take place at a high school, and two students basically just beat the hell out of one student. It's a very violent, uncomfortable video. What can be done to those perpetrators of the attack? They're juveniles, so I understand it's going to be a little bit different here. But from the school resource officers that I've spoken with at a number of different schools, they all have the same complaint. Not a lot can be done to stop things like this, and there's not enough punishment. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, that's exactly right. There's no fear of consequences. And again, we have structures within our juvenile courts, our school system, and quite frankly, in our adult court system that has stripped away any accountability for crimes of violence and attacks. And guys, that's witnessed no better than what we've seen in Indianapolis just this past week, where we have a person that's leading anti-violence efforts be gunned down in the streets of Indianapolis and killed. We also have a police officer that's shot from a position of cover, flight, or opportunity. We're still trying to figure out who did that, and that officer thankfully survived, but is just one of hundreds that have been shot so far in the line of duty in our nation. So when we are averaging an officer being shot in the line of duty once every 22 hours, we have a 15% increase in line of duty deaths of our police officers in the first 6 months of this year compared to last year. And where it combine that within a local community where there's a revolving door and no accountability, it's a recipe for disaster. But I do want to say this, even in these times of trials, guys, these times of great challenge, we see Hoosier spirit rise to the level. Our officers were touched by the care and the support that they received from Hoosiers all across the state when our officer was shot. I want to reiterate this, prayer works. And we had prayer warriors who came out from all over to stand in faith for that officer. But we also want to thank the Eskenazi medical teams, the heroic acts of this officer's fellow officers who provided trauma care and transportation. And I stressed that night to the media, and I'll close with this. Evil may have its hour, but God will have his day. And we stand firm on that and just want to thank everybody and just say to be bold, stand in faith, and demand better of our elected officials as we move forward.
Rick Snyder, president of the Fraternal Order of Police, Lodge 86. Rick, as always, we appreciate your time. God bless you, your family, and your officers, and we appreciate you and thank you.
Thank you, guys. Be blessed.
And my wife and I both go to the Exercise Inc. location in Zionsville. They have locations all over town, by the way. Avon, Brownsburg, Greenwood, Zionsville, and now brand new one in Fishers. My wife and I go to the one in Zionsville. We walk out of there, and we're like, what just happened? We are so sore. But it's safe enough that your grandma can do it, but physically challenging enough that a pro football player could do it. You see, Exercise Inc. is a once-a-week strength training program that only lasts for 20 minutes. If you walk out of there sore or wake up the next morning sore after your session with Exercise Inc., that's a good thing. You know your muscles, your body is getting the physical energy and strength it needs. So if you think you're too busy to exercise or be healthy, I mean, my wife has a full-time job. I have a full-time job. We both felt that way when we started. It's a once-a-week private 20-minute workout, and you can also follow the 9 simple habits to change your health and lose weight and change your eating habits and routines like I have. Change your life in 20 minutes a week. ExerciseInc.com. That's ExerciseInc.com. Tell them Nigel sent you.
Whatever happened to Tony Horton, the guy who created the revolutionary P90X?
2017, I was knocked down. A very rare type of shingles that went straight into my brain. My body was completely wasting away. I started researching everything related to building my muscle back again. That's when I learned about the potential of HMB plus vitamin D3 and what they can do when it comes to helping build new muscle.
So Tony developed high-impact protein by Power Life.
Just add 1 scoop of high-impact protein to a glass of water or your morning smoothie and enjoy the effects of that boss molecule and factory worker combination. Reshaping your body each and every day. More energy, burn more fat, and probably drop a few pounds along the way.
High-impact protein by Power Life is a tasty once-a-day powder that comes in either whey or plant protein. Go to mypowerlife.com and use code TONE to save 30%. Tony even offers a 90-day guarantee. Go to mypowerlife.com or text TONE to 511-511. Text TONE to 511-511 today. All individuals are unique. Your results can and will vary. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
Your Indiana State Fair is here. Join us to celebrate the best of summertime.
The fair returns this Friday. Your last chance for discount tickets available now through Thursday. The greatest value of the summer is back. Grab tickets at indianastatefair.com for more magical memories.
Enjoy the sounds and sights at this year's fair, where there's more to see and do than you ever knew. Celebrate the art and nature of fun. Presented by Newfields, August 2nd through 18th. It's only here, but once a year.
Changing question. Are you keeping as much of your investment gains as possible? High taxes can erode returns quickly, so you need a tax-optimized portfolio. At Creative Planning, our money managers and specialists work together to make sure your portfolio and wealth are managed in a tax-efficient manner. It's what you keep that really matters. Why not give your wealth a second look? Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Imagine the possibilities of getting the backyard of your dreams. Expand your living space with an Indie Decorative Concrete patio. Indie Decorative Concrete, the patio experts. Big enough to service, small enough to care.
That was a great conversation with the president of the FOP, Rick Snyder. And I'm telling you, if I'm one of these folks that brings all this convention money to Indy, if I'm the folks that visit Indy or Indy Sports Corp, I'm having a serious conversation with Boss Hogset and Ryan Mears. If I'm bringing all these millions of dollars from Final Fours to WrestleManias and everything in between, I want to make sure I've got security here. I'm hoping they're going to use their leverage to have those conversations. All right, Matt Baer, what's up?
All right, the northeast side's an abomination. Looking at southbound 465, stall after East 71st Street. Left lane, block traffic jammed all the way back to Meridian Street for a 58-minute delay. Inbound 69, stall on the ramp to southbound 465. That backs us up to 106th Street. Looking at northbound 65, that's jammed Keystone Avenue to the south split for 21 minutes. Eastbound 70 stop Tibbs Avenue to the south split for 33 minutes. Eastbound 465 south side stop before 31 into I-65. Crash Keystone Avenue at 34th. Crash Madison Avenue south of US 31. Traffic sponsored by Indie Decorative Concrete. Imagine the possibilities of getting the backyard of your dreams. Expand your living space with an Indie Decorative Concrete patio. Indie Decorative Concrete, the patio experts, big enough to service, small enough to care. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
89 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Again, coming up here, 5:06, the mother of the student that was assaulted at Beech Grove High School will call in, and we've got some questions. She's got her perspective to share. And man, what a wild, wild video. It's sickening to watch. I don't even want to watch it again.
I don't either.
Nigel, in happier news, there's a thread on Reddit.
Oh, great.
Called There I Said It. Now, this is basically people giving their controversial take, their hot take on a number of things, and following it up with the phrase, There I said it.
Okay.
So tell me if any of these move the needle for you. Someone wrote, cleaning your ears and pulling out a big piece of wax is the second best feeling on earth. There, I said it.
Okay. Now I think I know where we're going with this. What's the first best feeling?
Probably relations, I would imagine.
Wait, sexual relations followed closely by earwax coming out of the ear canal?
Pulling a big piece out of there.
Oh.
Here's another one. Who needs a 72-hour antiperspirant deodorant? Who the hell isn't washing for 3 days? There, I said it.
Good point.
Never thought of it that way. This one's my favorite.
All right.
Tribute bands should not be allowed to talk to the audience. Dave Grohl with a thick Boston accent completely ruins the set. There, I said it. That's 100%.
Here.
I don't want to hear the cover band guy talking to the crowd. Just go ahead and play another Foo Fighters song. Star Trek Spock is an a-hole. Patronizing, passive-aggressive, pointy-eared prong. There, I said it. Oh, here's a hot take.
Uh-oh.
A user writes, cup noodles are crap. You'd be better off dropping some rubber bands in a mug of warm vomit. There, I said
Are they
it.
talking about ramen noodles?
Any sort of noodles in a cup.
No, look, even my kids love ramen noodles. They'll take that over, peanut butter and jelly any day of the week, I bet.
My youngest the same way,
Yeah.
Jacob. Like ramen noodles, they connect with the younger generation right now. And last one, seagulls are only a couple generations away from being able to pull people's eyeballs out. There, I said it.
I got one for you.
Bring it.
Sometimes I sit down to pee. There. I said it. There, I said it.
He went to doctor after doctor looking for relief and always walked away discouraged. Surgery and drugs hadn't worked before, so why would he try them again? That's when Carmen made an appointment at QC Kinetics.
I'll tell you one thing. I got a spring in my step. The bounce is back in my step. My quality of life improving exponentially since I've been going to QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics has treated over 35,000 patients like Carmen, using their own healing components, concentrating them into damaged knees, hips, shoulders, and backs. No surgery, no drugs.
The pain's gone. Quality of life so much better, and mentally I'm in such a better place because I know that I'm not going to wake up to the same old struggles that I have been dealing with every single day. 10 months ago, no joke, I was a prime candidate for a knee replacement. Today, I'm not because of the treatment I'm receiving at QC Kinetics.
Carmen finally got relief, and it was easy, starting with a free consultation at QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 317-559-PAIN. That's 317-559-PAIN. In Eagle Creek, Greenwood, and Carmel. 317-559-PAIN.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
The search for the temporary fix. It's led you back there again, in the pharmacy aisle, looking for the new and improved pill or spray that will clear up your stuffy nose. And you'll give it a try because at least it helps you breathe, right? Yeah, it does. And it may work, but it's hurting you more than it's helping. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula with Advent, where we've pioneered simple solutions to nasal breathing problems without the pain and inconvenience of surgery. In-office procedures like balloon sinuplasty require zero surgical cuts, little to no downtime, and can have you breathing better in less than 30 minutes. There are few, if any, practices that have been performing the balloon sinuplasty procedure longer than Advent. That's why we're a global destination for those living with nasal breathing problems. Visit AdventKnows.com to see if you're a candidate for balloon sinuplasty. Because Advent knows, when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes, heat, humidity, and maybe some more severe weather, what you can expect in your forecast. What's happened during a hearing in the Delphi murders case so far today, and for the first time this training camp, the Colts have put the football pads on. They're hitting each other. That's all coming up after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
It's not clear yet if he's dead or alive. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. A senior Hezbollah commander targeted by a rare Israeli airstrike in Beirut as retaliation for Saturday's rocket attack that killed 12 children and teens in the Golan Heights.
Senior officials that we've talked to tonight in Tel Aviv say this overall strike was not about sending the country into a broader war, but rather about sending a message to Hezbollah that the attacks over the border must end. Even earlier tonight, there were more rockets and drones just before this strike took place.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv. The State Department says there are no plans underway to evacuate American citizens from Lebanon. The White House says it still believes all-out war can be avoided. Vice President and presumptive presidential nominee Kamala Harris just telling reporters Hezbollah is a terrorist organization and Israel has the right to defend itself, while also calling for continued work on a diplomatic solution. The director of the Heritage Foundation's Project 2025 has stepped down, with the group insisting the project has completed a goal for unified conservative vision, though former President Trump has disavowed and criticized the effort as Democrats have tried to tie him to it, calling it an extreme agenda. The acting director of the Secret Service gets a Capitol Hill grilling over security failures in the Trump assassination attempt.
I went to the roof of the AGR building where the assailant fired shots, and I laid in a prone position to evaluate his line of sight. What I saw made me ashamed.
Ronald Rowe telling a Senate hearing he can't defend why that roof was not better secured. But as the investigation continues, also pushed back on some lawmakers' calls to start firing people quickly for accountability. Police in England clashing with a crowd outside a mosque near where 3 young girls were stabbed to death in a dance class. The suspect is a 17-year-old boy. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What's in your forecast? Temps just beyond 90 degrees downtown. Your radar's clear. 72 is your low tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox for the Michaelis Corporation. Here's what's trending at 5:02. You can expect hot and humid weather over the next few days.
We're getting a lot of moisture coming in from the south, and it's going to be pushing our dew points into the low to mid 70s most days, and then we get temperatures then into the upper 80s to near 90.
Aaron Updike with the National Weather Service says there's a possibility for severe weather pretty much through Thursday. A United States Marine from Avon has been identified as one of the people killed in a training accident in California over the weekend. Wes Woodward reports.
U.S. Marine Staff Sergeant Jerry Betzold, 26, was from Avon and joined the Marine Corps in August of 2016. He was promoted to Staff Sergeant in March of this year. Betzold sustained severe injuries during a rollover accident involving a high-mobility wheeled vehicle sometime Saturday. He was rushed to a nearby hospital after the accident and then medically evacuated to a hospital in Palm Springs. He died sometime later. Officials with the Marine Corps Air Ground Combat Center in 29 Palms, California, confirmed his death Tuesday. Wes Woodward, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The defense team in the Delphi murders trial wants sanctions for the prosecution and how evidence has been organized, or rather disorganized. They claim trying to look through 26 terabytes of evidence is like finding a needle in a haystack. The prosecution believes it's all a non-issue. The first motion filed today was to get suspect Richard Allen out of solitary confinement. The defense has most recently accused state police of not further pursuing a third-party suspect in the case. There's more hearings scheduled this week. And the first full day of padded practice for the Indianapolis Colts at training camp was this morning.
I'm Kevin Bowen from Colts training camp, and Anthony Richardson has continued to take every single starting rep through these 4 practices here in Westfield. On the injury front, starting defensive end Samson Ebicom was lost for the season as Shane Steichen confirmed a torn Achilles for the veteran defensive end. Second-year defensive end Titus Leo was carted off during Tuesday's practice with a knee injury. Colts will practice again on Wednesday before an off day on Thursday. Kevin Bowen, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
Life's full of unexpected joys, like problems with water. That's why there's Michaelis, a crew of 24/7 experts who are rescue ready, day or night, one phone call, for a gazillion disasters, from frozen pipes and sewer backups to your teenager pleading ignorance on the proper use of a plunger. At Michaelis, they know that water damage waits for no one. Their fleet of trucks is, well, fleet. Over 3 decades of finding the source of the problem, then cleaning up, drying out, and restoring your home or business to better than new condition. That's Michaelis, fully licensed and insured, and fully empathetic to your anxiety, including dealing with insurance claims. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Call 844-FIX-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
With traffic in the fives at 5:05, how are the roads, Matt Bear?
Harrison northeast side has improved a touch. We're looking at southbound 465 at East 71st. A stall cleared. We're still stopped on eastbound 465 because of the earlier stall after Meridian over to I-69. Inbound 69, stalled vehicle on the ramp to southbound 465 ramp is open, partially blocked. Traffic stop to stop and go back to 106th Street. Northbound 65 jammed up right now from south Keystone Avenue up to the South Split, 17 minutes on the travel time. Eastbound 70 stop from Tibbs into the South Split, that's 32 minutes. Inbound 65 not moving after MLK to the North Split. That delay continues on eastbound 70 out to Rural Street, Keystone Avenue. And a crash south side. This is Madison Avenue south of 31. Traffic sponsored by Mr. Quick Home Services. Is your AC struggling to keep up? Mr. Quick Home Services has you covered. Give $74 off any AC repair now. Trust their fast service to keep you comfortable. MrQuickHomeServices.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
A few showers and storms are possible tonight with lows down in the low 70s. The showers and storms are likely to start for our Wednesday before they continue in an on-off fashion during the afternoon nighttime hours. The low risk for damaging winds. Highs near 90 with triple-digit heat index values in some spots as well. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna from 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
Hey now, my name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here with a very special guest on the hotline.
Debbie Contameni is the mother of a student who was assaulted at Beech Grove High School last week. A video making its way around social media shows just a violent attack on her son. Debbie joins us right now. Debbie, first and foremost, how is your son?
He's good.
Good.
He's at practice right now.
Okay. So I don't want to put any words into your mouth. So please, you've got the floor here. Take us through what happened to your son in school.
He was sitting in his class doing an assignment when the two brothers came in. I guess, according to the teacher, she told them not to enter. And then they entered anyways, went to the back of the classroom where he was seated, and they jumped him.
And these were students, you say brothers, that came into the classroom. Were they not in that classroom? Did they come from the hallway or something else?
I believe so. One is a freshman and one is a junior.
Okay.
My son is a sophomore.
Okay. So had there been any sort of altercation between your son and the parties involved prior to that?
So I spoke with my son about it, and he's always been completely honest with me, whether he's in the right, in the wrong, whether he knows he's going to get grounded. He'll hand his phone right over, like, here, I'm not even going to lie. This is what happened. He told me, he's like, Mom, like, I talked to the boy earlier, like, lunch period was the period before this class. He said, I don't even know the dude, but he was mugging me in lunch, and I just kind of, like, brushed it off. I don't even know him. He said, and then a few of my buddies came up and other people and was like, hey, dude over there is talking about he would whoop you. And I guess it caught my son off guard because he doesn't know the kid. And then they ended up run into each other like after they finished eating or whatever. I don't know if this happened in the cafeteria or in the hallway. And my son said, you know, like, what's up with that? He said, we talked. Everything was fine. We shook up. He said, dude, I thought me and bro was cool. Like, I didn't know there was any issues. I went to class. I'm sitting in class, and I hear the teacher say something to him. I look up, and they're coming at me.
So was the teacher able to do anything to stop them? I realize we're dealing with, you know, a female teacher is probably not exactly someone that's able to get in the middle of a fight between three people. What happened during the fight? What kind of protocols were taking place while your son was being assaulted?
Any were taking place.
Really?
I don't. I was never contacted by the school. It was other parents and friends that contacted me because their children reached out to them worried about my son.
The school never reached out to you, Debbie?
Absolutely not. I took it upon myself to call them. And when I called them as I was on my way up there, whoever it was that answered the phone, I'm guessing the front desk office clerk, her words were, when I stated that I needed to know, had my son been jumped, because I was receiving phone calls from other parents, her first words in response were, who told you this? How did you find this out? Like, why does that matter? Tell me what happened with my son. She went on to ask again, who called me, who told me that? And I was like, you know what? Never mind. I'm about to be there.
Good.
Debbie, I'm going to read you a statement from the school, and I'd like to get your reaction afterwards. This is the statement that Beech Grove High School put out from their administrative staff. Quote, regarding the specific incident mentioned, it would be inappropriate to discuss the details of the individual student matters publicly. We are committed to maintaining confidentiality for all students and ensuring their privacy is protected. It goes on to say, I can confirm that our administrative team promptly handled the investigation and communications were rendered according to the policy on the day of the event. The safety, security, and well-being of our students and staff remains our highest priority.
Sure.
That's a statement from the school. I'm curious as to your response.
If they followed protocol, what's the protocol and how absurd is it? Because I never received contact from that school when my son literally was punched several times in the back of the head while he's fighting one, the other one's punching him in the back of the head. He breaks loose from that one. He's turning around trying to defend himself from the other one, and he's getting punched in the back of the head by the other one. He then once the older boy shoved him from behind, and he lost his footing and fell down into the corner. It shows in the video, there is a video that was passed around the school of the incident, and it shows in the video that his head was stomped. So, therefore, my son was punched and stomped by not one but two boys, and they did not contact me. They didn't find it necessary to contact me.
And not only was he punched and stomped, but from two boys, as you say, that came in from, but they weren't in the classroom. They came in from the hallway.
Correct.
They marched down the hallway and entered the classroom to assault your son. Right. And I'm just wondering if law enforcement has been involved in any way, shape, or form in this. And it seems like, piggybacking on what a Hammer said and the response the school had, it's like they're protecting the aggressors in this. It's outrageous.
That's how I feel. And initially, they weren't even going to file any kind of report. As soon as I walked into the school, I'm like, where's my son? Take me to him now. And I want to press charges. I was told, we cannot do that. We cannot press charges. This is a school fight. We typically don't do those type of things in school fights. We handle those in-house.
Is that right?
So, no. Debbie, did at any point in the altercation or the aftermath of it, did your son try to call you?
After the altercation, he gathered his things up. One of his teammates who was in class with him walked him down to the office. And once he got into the office, he asked him if he could take his phone out of his bag, which, mind you, my son tries to avoid getting in trouble because he, can get put off of the football team. He is in sports. He asked if he could pull his phone out from his bag. He wanted to call me, and he was told no.
Is that because of the policy that has been passed that schools don't want kids having their phones in the classroom? Is that what this is about, or is this something else?
I don't know why they didn't allow him to pull his phone out of his backpack, because he should have been able to contact me, especially being in the office and something like this had just happened. He's asking permission to contact me. He absolutely should have been granted permission to contact his mother. They should have took it upon themselves to contact me.
We're speaking with Debbie Kantamani. She is the mother of the student that was assaulted in a classroom at Beech Grove High School last week. I want to clear up some, fact or fiction, rumor stuff that's going around, Debbie. Was your son written up for anything in regards to this altercation?
Absolutely, yes. And it's a joke, if you ask me.
Tell me about that.
Give me a second. I could put you on speaker and read it off to you.
Okay. So your son, who was the victim in this assault, let's call it what it is, it's an assault, at some point was written up.
Correct. And it was after the fact that they submitted the discipline referral. It says, BGHS, a discipline referral has been assigned to Justin D. Stewart Jr. Hello, your student has received a classroom referral for committing the following offense. Teacher referral, Shelley Dean stated, Justin was sitting in class when two other students came in after being warned not to enter and started hitting him. The other two students left the room and he followed them, angrily yelling after them.
So that referral, Debbie, let me just jump in here real quick. That referral states that the two students that came in the classroom, they were leaving.
They jumped him and then they left. They jumped him and then they left. It says after they left the room. He didn't go into the hallway like, let me go after them and get jumped again. They jumped him. They got out of the classroom. He gathered his things. A teammate walked him down to the office. He was leaving to walk down to the office to let them know what had happened. I asked him what the teacher did. He said she was sitting at the desk the entire time. And then at the end of the referral, it says, please speak with your student about making better choices. Like, are you serious?
Wow. Wow. So what's next, Debbie? Yeah. Are you considering any sort of legal action here?
Absolutely.
Or Okay. Well, we can't really get into that, so I'll let you deal with that. Last thing here before we let you go, what message would you like all of our listeners to know about your son, about the incident? What's the main thing to take from this?
Just teach the kids to do better and be better people. Like, if that was my son, I would absolutely hold him accountable. I would hope that it wouldn't happen in the first place involving any of my children. But these kids need to be held accountable, and they need to be taught better. Like, who goes around jumping somebody? I understand boys will be boys, and, yeah, there'll be one-on-one fights. But to go out of your way and enter another classroom that you don't belong in and jump somebody is just foul.
Debbie, thank you so much for taking the time to join us to answer some questions. I know this isn't easy to talk about, but again, this is a big story right now, and we appreciate you giving us the facts and laying it all out there.
Not a problem.
Thank you very much. And again, that statement that I read earlier was from the school, Beech Grove High School. They did provide that to me, so I did reach out to them. So we're covering both sides here.
Oh, well, it's good that they're protecting the aggressors in the situation for sure. I'm so glad that they are taking every step and every precaution to make sure the people that beat the crap out of this kid are protected as well.
And if you're in the prosecutor's office, if you are Ryan Mears, it's okay to go after juveniles. It is. There is a juvenile detention center, and some people belong there. Get off your ass and do something. All right, Matt Baer, what's up?
West Side crash northbound 465 at West 21st Street. That's before 74. Left shoulder block. Traffic stop and go past Rockville Road. Looking at northbound 65, that's stopped traffic after Keystone Avenue into the south split. 17 minutes. Eastbound 70 stopped after Tibbs Avenue into the south split. That's running at 44 minutes right now. Inbound 65 also jammed before MLK to the north split. Inbound 69, a stall on the ramp to southbound 465 ramp is open, still backed up to 100. 106. And eastbound 465 jams after Meridian past Allisonville Road. Traffic sponsored by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They've teamed up with the Indiana Fever and Common Threads to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies Incorporated. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
I can't believe I'm this fired up about kids, but those kids need to be in the juvenile detention center. Let's see if the prosecutor's office has enough hair on their you-know-whats to do the right thing here. Sadly, I think we all know how this is going to play out. Right now, sunshine, 89 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Gonna shift gears, gonna have a good time. We're gonna play a fun round of Are You Okay With This coming up. But first, how about caller number 9? You get 2 VIP tickets to go see A Hard Day's Night, the Beatles tribute band, this Saturday at the Indiana State Fair. I'll be there this Saturday from 11 to 1 at the Indiana State Fair. Stop by, hang out with me, tell a dirty joke, hang out, let's have some beers. But if you want to go see the show that night, Hard Day's Night, the Beatles tribute, caller number 9, 239-9393.
Are you within 5 years of filing for Social Security? Get this, 96% of Americans, 96% forfeit an average of $111,000 in Social Security income, and it's all because, unfortunately, they file for their benefits at the wrong time. Learn how you can avoid this with a free customized Social Security analysis. It's from Bill Demery, your retirement guy right here in Indy.
So if you've saved more than $200,000 for retirement and have not yet filed for Social Security, schedule that free analysis right now by calling Bill Demery, 317-648-5120. Bill Demery. For some people, filing for Social Security early could result in more net income in retirement. The free analysis pinpoints exactly how you could get the most income from Social Security. Bill Demery, 317-648-5120. That's 317-648-5120.
Business. It's not a 9-to-5 proposition. It's all day and into the night. It's all the things that keep this world turning. And behind every one of these businesses is a partner like Comcast Business helping to keep it all moving. It's why the local flower shop and your favorite pizza joint, the startup and the stadium, hospitals and hotels, banks and restaurants nationwide. All these businesses choose the advanced network, cybersecurity solutions, and round-the-clock trusted partnership from Comcast Business. From Main Street to Wall Street, our people are powering the businesses that power it all. So when you're ready to unlock what's possible for your business, there's no one better to answer the call. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Restrictions apply. Call or visit ComcastBusiness.com to learn more.
Attention Indiana homeowners, are you dealing with a wet and moldy crawl space? Hi, I'm Adam Swain with Swain Co. Crawl Space and Basement Repair, your real, local, Indiana family-owned experts dedicated to fixing your crawl space right the first time. And with our new no interest, no payment financing, you can get the repairs you need without breaking the bank. Don't let crawl space water problems dampen your spirits. Call Swain Co., Indy's most trusted waterproofing experts at 317-407-1868 or SwainCoLLC.com.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
This hour on WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, designers of fine custom jewelry.
Are you really okay with this?
Are you okay? Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show.
Oh, yeah!
Rapper Flavor Flav supporting the U.S. water polo team.
All right.
Even at the Olympics. Now, I'll let you finish this, Hammer, but the Hall of Fame rapper signed a 5-year deal with the U.S. water polo team, but it's not the kind of deal you would expect. Explain this contract, and are you okay with this?
First of all, I love this. Yes, I'm okay with this. So Flavor Flav, the rapper, longtime hype man of Public Enemy. Yeah, boy! That guy. That's
911 is a joke in your town, I believe.
Right. Had the big clock. So his quote-unquote deal that he signed with the U.S. water polo team, Flavor Flav is paying for it.
Oh, wait. The water polo team didn't sign him to a deal?
So Flavor Flav is basically the proxy for the water polo team.
That's great.
They signed him to a 5-year deal to be their hype man for these Olympics and then the next, 4 years after this. And Flavor Flav is paying for some of these athletes to cover their costs. Because some of these members of the water polo team, they were working 2 or 3 jobs just to be able to afford to go to the Olympics, afford the training and all this kind of stuff. So Flavor Flav, who for whatever reason loves this sport, said, you know what? Partner with me. I'll put my name to the contract for 5 years. I will be the official hype man for Team USA Water Polo. I'll help you guys out. I'll cover some flights. I'll cover your training. If you need some help getting to the Olympics, some meal money, I got you. So, yeah, I love this. Now, that being said, imagine, if you will, you're involved in a car accident in 1997, and you go into a coma. And when you wake up, the year is 2024. You turn on the Olympics, and the most beloved people at the Olympics in Paris, mind you, are Flavor Flav and Snoop Dogg.
Forgot about Snoop Dogg. Yeah, he's all over the place there in Paris.
When you got in your car crash, Snoop Dogg was probably on trial for murder, and Flavor Flav was talking about 911 being a joke. And now you wake up, and lo and behold, the most beloved fan favorites at the Paris Olympics are Snoop Dogg and Flavor Flav. And then if that's not enough, then you have to explain why Ice Cube is a family actor now. The guy that wrote F the Police for NWA, the guy that wrote the lyrics to No Vaseline, now does wacky family movies like Are We There Yet Part 2.
KKK's Most Wanted.
Right.
Ice Cube, his solo effort, his solo debut.
The self-proclaimed N-word you love to hate. That guy does wacky family movies, and Snoop and Flavor Flav, they're the crowd favorites at the Olympics.
I'm actually watching Flavor Flav on YouTube right now play water polo against the women's team a couple of weeks ago.
It's a fun sport to watch.
He was in the pool. He said it was like the toughest 7 minutes of his life. It looks hard.
It is. Like, you've got to be in great shape to play that stuff. Like, these fringe sports that I admit, I probably only watch once every 4 years for the Olympics.
Sure.
They're fun to watch. Have you seen the women's rugby? There's this one chick, and it's kind of like football. They just throw her the ball, and she's like Derrick Henry going down the sidelines. She's straight arming chicks, stiff arming chicks, going into the end zone. It's wild to watch, man. It's fun.
Oh, okay. Hammer, the iconic Princess Leia bikini costume from the set of Return of the Jedi sold at auction for $175,000. Woo! Are you okay with this? This is when she was sitting at Jabba the Hutt's side, right?
Right. So at the beginning of Return of the Jedi, Princess Leia's chained up next to that big, fat, gross Jabba the Hutt, and she's got this little skimpy bikini on.
My son and I are rewatching the first, the first the first 3 episodes of Star Wars, and I think he's starting to take notice of
good for him.
Princess Leia's bikini there in Return of the Jedi. I certainly have for years.
Good for him. But yeah, this is something like, is that the greatest bikini of all time? Or is it Bo Derek and 10? Is it Phoebe Cates and Fast Times at Ridgemont High? Like, I'm sure there's probably some that I'm not thinking about here.
Wow, now that's an interesting
The
question.
greatest bikini of all time. a case could be made that it was Princess Leia locked up on the chain with Jabba in Return of the Jedi, and it just sold for $175,000.
Best swimsuit moments in movie history.
I mean, Phoebe Cates has got to be up there.
I'd have to do a deep dive into this. Yeah, Phoebe Cates has got to be up there, of course.
I'm going to let you do the research on that, Nigel. You do the research, and I will solicit for caller roulette.
Oh, no.
This is where we take your calls about anything. So if you want to talk about J.D. Vance or Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, you can. If you want to talk about the Olympics or Rob Kendall or Tony Katz or us, you can. If you want to talk about Trump cookies and all things happening in Beech Grove, you can. Whatever you want. 239-9393. We're not going to screen out your calls. It's a pretty dangerous move on our behalf. We're just going to get your name. Responsible shows scream out the call. We're not going to do that. We just let it ride, baby. 239-9393. Whatever you want to talk about, maybe you want to tell us a joke, maybe you want to hit on Allison, 239-9393. Caller roulette coming up right after we check the news with Harrison Silcox.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Confirmed this afternoon. 90 degrees, partly sunny over the circle. You've got a clear radar 73. Your low tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:30. The National Weather Service says the tornado that landed in western Madison County Monday night was an EF2. John Herrick reports.
It had maximum sustained wind speeds of 130 miles an hour. It began in Hamilton County as an EF0 before traveling into Madison County and picking up steam. No one was hurt or killed, but the storm severely damaged the Frankton Lapel Community Schools Administration Building. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News. 2
people on a motorcycle died in a crash Monday night. Johnson County Sheriff Dwayne Burgess says they have evidence to believe the motorcycle driver hit a Ford F-450 truck after running a red light.
That driver was just on his way home, and it's just an unfortunate accident that they struck his vehicle. No alcohol is suspected with that driver.
He says witnesses at the scene were able to help confirm the truck driver's story. Vice President Kamala Harris has the backing of White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre.
She is immensely qualified, and, you know, the president, having been a senator and a vice president himself, understands what it takes, and he sees that in her.
Harris has already been endorsed by several Democrats, including current President Joe Biden. She's also raised over $200 million in donations for her campaign. Israel says it's retaliated against Hezbollah. Fox's Ryan Schmelz reports.
The IDF claims the strike in Beirut targeted the commander accused of orchestrating the recent attack on a children's soccer field. The State Department not saying much, but Deputy Spokesperson Vedant Patel does reaffirm U.S. support for Israel.
It certainly faces threats like no other country does, especially in that region of the world.
Over a dozen people were killed, including children, from that rocket strike. The IDF has blamed the Iranian-backed terror group Hezbollah. In Washington, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
And Delphi murder suspect Richard Allen needs to be moved out of solitary confinement, so says his lawyers repping him in court this week. They filed a motion to have Allen moved over to the Cass County Jail for the sake of his mental state. Today was the first hearing in the case, with more scheduled later this week. With traffic at 5:32, here's Matt Bear.
West side crash northbound 465 at West 21st Street. Left lane is blocked. Traffic is slow to stop and go back to I-70. Then a crash northwest side southbound 465 at the I-65 interchange. That backs up traffic back to West 71st. Looking at northbound 65 on the south side, 20 minutes from Keystone Avenue up to the south split. Eastbound 70 from Holt to the south split, that's 55 minutes. Inbound 65 stop and go traffic after 38th Kessler to the north split. Stall on the ramp on the northeast side. It's inbound 69 to southbound 465 ramp is open. Partially blocked traffic jam back to 106th Street. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Imagine the possibilities of getting the backyard of your dreams. Expand your living space with an Indy Decorative Concrete patio. Indy Decorative Concrete, the patio experts, big enough to service, small enough to care. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. And here's the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
A few showers and storms are possible tonight with lows down in the low 70s. The showers and storms are likely to start for our Wednesday before they continue in an on-off fashion during the afternoon nighttime hours with a low risk for damaging winds. Highs near 90 with triple-digit heat index values in some spots as well. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna from 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox. On the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Buckle up. Anything can happen here.
Oh, hell yeah. Let it ride. Let it ride.
Hammer and Nigel present Caller Roulette.
I keep waiting for our bosses to put the stop to this segment because we have no idea what's about to happen.
Yeah, they're paying attention to different things within the company right now.
A little inside joke. Allison, thumbs up. Do we have the dump button ready? All right. Again, this could go anywhere. We have no idea what awaits us on the other side of this phone bank. Let's rock and roll. Bill, you are up first. Welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show.
Hey, Hammer and Nigel, listen to this real quick. There you go. Did you hear me pop my beer?
Oh, is that what that was? Yeah. Yeah, congratulations.
You guys were talking the other night about the debate and CNN and Trump and everything.
Yeah.
I really think they wanted to hit that dump button as quick as they could. I think they wanted to shut him down as fast as they could. But did you see Dana Bash's look on her face when Joe Biden couldn't even talk during that first question?
Right. And that's the look that we've all had for years, Bill. That's the same look we've all had.
She had no clue what they were going to do after that. So they just stuck to asking questions. That's why
they actually did a good job. You're right. That's exactly why. They didn't have a place to go.
Right. You can't bring up anything off the cuff or Joe Biden, the bot would break down. Absolutely.
That look on Dana Bash's face was like, oh, my God. And then she asked her question, and from then on, it was downhill. So love your show, guys.
Right on. Thank you, Bill.
Thanks, buddy.
Again, if you're on hold, make sure you keep your radio turned down. I forgot to mention that earlier. Jason is up next. Jason, what's up, man?
What's up, man? Hey, I just wanted to, I don't know if you talked about it. I missed it. But has anybody seen the piece that ABC done with the snipers from Indiana? And them talking about how they didn't get any briefing. They took pictures of this dude like 25 minutes before Donald Trump ever took stage. And nobody's talking about it. But ABC News actually did a piece on it, and it's like it disappeared after that.
I think a lot of people are asking questions, certainly in these congressional hearings, but the Secret Service, they damn sure aren't answering any questions. Whether it was the old, now resigned director Cheadle or this guy today that Josh Hawley depanced. There's a lot of questions. Nobody wants to answer anything, which...
Well, it's still an open investigation.
You're like, 17 days removed from the president being shot and people losing their life in the crowd, and nobody's been fired. There's no answers to anything.
Yeah, look, I'm looking on ABC right now. ABC, the headline is Local SWAT Snipers Saw Trump Rally Gunman Nearly 2 hours Before Assassination Attempt, according to text messages, something we mentioned yesterday on this show. Now, I heard him say something about Indiana. I'm not sure about Indiana snipers, or maybe I didn't hear him correctly there. But, yeah, certainly, of course, they knew a couple of hours before the attempt that guy was trolling around.
And they still allowed the president to walk up on that stage.
I just don't know if the communication was there between local officials and the people that were protecting Trump.
Josh is up next. Josh, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show.
What you say, Hammer? It's the old Southside Rebel. How you guys doing?
Good, man. What's up, buddy?
Man, it's real disturbing about that Beach Grove situation. I remember, a year or two or some back when they had an incident at Roncalli, and that upset me too. And I thought that something, there's just not enough being done in these schools to protect these kids,
Right. Like, I know these schools, Josh, they have resource officers there, and I know a lot of the resource officers that work in these various schools in Indy. But, man, it's tough when a situation breaks out and he might be 3 to 4 minutes away at another place in the school.
Yeah, true. Sad. I mean, it's sad. And then you guys mentioned today about the higher number of the police were we're under. That's really frightening itself.
400 is the number
Right.
we're talking about.
400.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Wow.
And again, if I'm Visit Indy,
guys, man.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate you, Josh. If I'm Visit Indy, if I'm, the Sports Corp, if I'm one of these people that are responsible for bringing all these conventions to Indy, Final Fours, WrestleManias, Gen Cons, firefighter conventions, all that kind of stuff, I want security because I hear them brag all the time. All of our convention goers say everything's so safe and so good because you've got great security. When you're down 400 officers, that becomes more and more of a challenge.
Maybe they would like to partnership, some sort of financial incentive or partnership with the IMPD in recruiting more officers to join.
Because if this thing continues to snowball, I'm telling you right now, nobody wants to come to a convention where they don't feel safe. And when you're down 400 officers, I mean, you can outsource to other departments. I get that, but that becomes a little bit more expensive. Joe is up next. Joe, rock and roll.
Hey, we like to talk about drinking and stuff. I got a good answering machine thing from Rich Little that I like to share with you guys there.
Rich Little. We're bringing in the younger audience here. Rich Little reference.
What you got, Joe?
Let's hear it.
All right, here we go. Godfrey Daniels, an answering machine, enough to drive a person to drink. That's why I'll always be indebted to the person who invented it. Leave a message at the burp. I mean beep. I'll be in the bar.
Thank you, Joe. Let's go to Jake. Jake, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show. You're on Caller Roulette.
Hey, I just want to give a shout out to my tough as nails niece, Chloe Digert, for her bronze medal after taking that spill.
Yeah.
And I want to let everybody know her next event is Sunday morning at 8 a.m., the road race, 98 miles, and she's going to get that gold. And I would love it if we could get every business possible on their billboard to put Go Chloe Digert or whatever and show her as much support as possible.
Brownsburg native almost lost that leg in a wreck.
Yes,
right?
Yes, she did.
And she's your niece?
Italy. Yeah, she's my niece.
Oh,
I tell you what, man, when she comes back, you pull some strings, get her on the show. We'll have her on.
Hey, she lives out in Colorado now, but I bet I can get her to call. And we've already texted 5 or 6 times here the last few days since the race, and she's hungry and ready to go.
When is the next race? I'm sorry. Tell me again the next one.
Going to be live Sunday morning at 8 a.m.
Right on.
Play it later on.
Right on, man. Well, if you talk to her, tell her that Indy, we're watching, we're rooting for her. Joe is up next. Joe, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show.
Hey, Hammer Nigel, great show.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, loving the Olympics, loving watching, you mentioned rugby, one of my favorite sports. Unfortunately, we don't see a whole lot of it here in Indiana.
Yeah, it's wild. Like, I'm total bandwagon. I admit this. I'm a bandwagon, rugby watcher. But same thing with like water polo. Nigel brought it up earlier. The stamina you need to play that sport, it's unbelievable. And rugby, again, I watched the highlight of that chick running down the sideline, just trucking people like Derrick Henry. It was wild.
By the way, another underrated Olympic event, surfing. You've been watching any of that surfing? It's in Tahiti, actually.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
For sure, for sure.
It's great. A lot of fun to watch.
Pete is up next. Pete, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show.
Hey, let me just sign in as one of the Rob Kendall fans. But one of the things that doesn't get talked about is if our elected officials here in Indiana really care about what Indiana voters think, how come we don't have any kind of voter initiative in Indiana like a lot of other states do?
That's a great point.
And I'll make a bet with it, and everybody's got their opinion. And we'd have 3 things different. 1 is we'd have legal pot. 2 is we'd have legal abortion. And 3 is we would not have permitless carry. Your comments?
I think you're 2 out of 3. I think permitless carry would pass, but I think pot would also pass. And everywhere abortion has been on the ballot, it has passed. Now, I think permitless carry would pass because I think explained the right way, there's really not much of a difference between having a license and permitless or constitutional carry. You still have to pass a background check. And the only thing you don't have to have is a piece of paper that said you passed the background check.
What was he saying? He wanted an actual vote, an initiative on abortion?
On the ballots.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah. So states that have had that, whether you like it or not, I mean, it's a fact. It's passed pretty overwhelmingly. I think pot would pass overwhelmingly. And I'm surprised Indiana has not jumped on that.
Oh, come on. It's surprising to you after we just got Sunday sales not too long ago for beer.
But all of our neighboring states do it. And
All
with as quick as Indiana went in on sports betting, because Indiana was one of the early states on sports betting, and now everybody has it. So, yeah, it's a little odd that that's the one thing where we draw the line on. You can gamble away the mortgage, you can drink away the mortgage, but don't you dare have an edible. You better drive your ass to Illinois. All right, let's take Jeff. Jeff, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show.
Hitch a ride with Abdul. He'll take you there. He knows where all the good spots are.
Since you're a radio station that sometimes plays music, I got a song. It goes, come on, Camelot.
Come on.
Okay, wait a minute.
I like it. Now, to be fair,
that was questionable.
That song has been used for a Hammer and Nigel record song in the past. It was James Comey, wasn't it?
Yes. Right.
Comey, I'm so sorry.
You got fired.
You got let go.
FBI, yeah.
All right, that's how we do it. That's caller roulette. We ran the gamut, baby.
It sure was.
Thank you for your calls. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
It's common knowledge that after age 30, our metabolism changes. We have less energy and gain weight easier. There's a way to feel better, not in years or months, but sometimes in just days.
I'm Chuck Norris. I tried everything. Working with a team of health experts, we came up with Morning Kick. Morning Kick is a revolutionary new formula that combines all my favorite supplements into one daily drink.
Morning Kick has probiotics to help you lose weight, prebiotics for digestion, superfoods for muscles and joints, and powerful anti-aging supplements. It'll help you feel youthful, energized, and helps manage stress.
I look and feel better than I have in years.
Go to roundhouseprovisions.com, use code EASY, or text EASY to 511-511 and claim 40% off. Roundhouseprovisions.com, code EASY.
Every purchase comes with our 90-day money-back guarantee. You could be feeling these changes within just a couple of days.
Text EASY to 511-511.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
Over 200,000 windows installed last year with Window Nation. More than 20,000 online positive reviews. I'm a Window Nation customer. They got an awesome deal right now. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, pay nothing, no interest for 2 full years. Plus, you'll get an additional $250 credit. And I love my Window Nation windows. You have to take my word for it. How about Andrew? Andrew says Window Nation was very upfront, no beating around the bush from the start. They provided all the details, including how Window Nation was different from the other companies. And he also showed knowledge of the company and products and being very personable.
This is an awesome deal. You are going to save so much money on this. Buy 2 windows, get 2 for free. Plus, no down payment, no interest, no payments for 24 months. And if that's not enough, get an additional $250 credit. Call and talk to a rep at Window Nation right now. Just start the conversation. 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Is your AC struggling to keep up? Mr. Quick Home Services has you covered. Get $74 off any AC repair now. Trust our fast service to keep you comfortable. MrQuickHomeServices.com.
Never miss your favorite shows on WIBC. Get your content to go. Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, Hammer and Nigel, Tony Kennett, The Gun Guy, Home and Garden. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, Matt Bear, what's going on, man?
We are stopped on the northwest side going both northbound and southbound 465. There's a crash on northbound 465 in the 865 interchange left lane block. Traffic jam back to 86th Street. Stopped going southbound 465 from 71st down to I-65. That crash is cleared. On the west side, northbound 465 at West 21st, crash clear. Still stop and go back to Rockville Road. Now a stall on eastbound 70 at Meridian, Illinois, heading into the south. Split traffic traffic is stopped from Holt Road into the South Split. Delay time was already at 45 minutes before the stall happened. Northbound 65 jammed up Keystone Avenue onto the North Split, and inbound 65 stop and go after 38th Cass to the North Split. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Imagine the possibilities of getting the backyard of your dreams. Expand your living space with an Indy Decorative Concrete patio. Indy Decorative Concrete, the patio experts, big enough to service, small enough to care. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Right now, we got sunshine, 89 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Let's do some booze news.
Yeah. You set him up and I'll knock him back, Lloyd. One more.
We are buried booze news, cause it's really fun.
Once it hits your lips, it's so good.
Nigel presents
Booze news, booze news.
Time for
Booze news. Hammer scuba divers in Sweden found 100 bottles of 150-year-old wine in a shipwreck. It might still be drinkable. The big question is, would you drink it?
So I'm probably the wrong person to ask because I'm not a big wine guy. But to me, that's a long time to be marinating in fish pee. So I'm probably going to take a rain check on this. But again, I'm not a wine guy.
You're like a sommelier, is like a wine steward, a wine expert, somebody who's a knowledgeable wine professional. My question is, are the bottles, have they been penetrated by the sea? Is salt water and fish pee able to get in to the wine bottle at all via the cork or whatnot? 150 years, that's a lot. That's
right.
Old. I mean, people love those. People pay tens of thousands of dollars, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars for bottles of wine that are that old, that are aged that long.
How much faith do you have that 150 years ago they were wrapping things up properly so no salt water, fish pee, or whale poop would get in? You got that much faith in it?
No, I don't have that much faith in it, but I'm sure there are people in this world that, I mean, some of the stuff that people that love, what's their life. And I mean, my wife, my God, she spends, I don't get it. She needs an endorsement with Total Wine. You've been there? People like go on dates to this place. Like, Allison, do you know what I'm talking about? Total Wine and Spirits is giant,
it's huge.
Yes, like a warehouse full of everything they have, and they also deliver.
For the record, I would try the wine.
Would you really?
Yeah, I mean, what a story. Just take a little swig.
A buddy of mine just sent me a text. Hogsett would drink it.
So
not gonna say who
what
it
I'm
was.
saying is my wife loves a good wine. Sometimes when I'm out with her at a nice dinner, I'll let her order the wine for me because I have no idea what I'm ordering or what I like, but I will join her in a bottle of wine, but I don't do it on a regular basis. So I don't think that I wouldn't get what you should probably get out of a $150-year-old bottle of wine.
You seem
know what
like
I mean?
more of a boxed wine guy, Nige.
Really? Boone's Farm. Do I have that? Do I have the Boone's Farm kind of look to you when it
Kind
comes
of got
to
that
wine?
vibe going.
Okay.
Tell me
Thank
if you
you.
think this is karma. Is this karma? Is this justice?
Karma. Stop. Really? All right.
A judo competitor at the Olympics,
judo chop,
refused to shake the hand of his Israeli competitor. Now, it's customary you shake hands with your opponent, like especially after the match. But this guy from Tajikistan refused to shake hands with the Israeli opponent, and after the match walked off, looked at him and yelled Allahu Akbar. However, in his next match, that same dude took on this badass from Japan, and the Japanese judo guy threw him down on the mat, dislocated his arm, and he had to be carried out by the trainers.
And then all of a sudden, Boy George came out and sang, Karma, chameleon.
Damn right.
Yeah, whatever.
Man, I believe in that kind of stuff, though. Like, karma sometimes isn't swift, but man, it comes around. It might take a little while, but a lot of bad people have what's coming to them, and I'm there to laugh when it happens. I like when bad things happen to bad people. Take Indiana, for example.
Okay.
We didn't have death penalty for a long time. I mean, we did, but we didn't. And now, Holcomb, Rakita, we're ready to kill some guys again. So these weasels that are on death row, like that little numbnuts Benjamin Ritchie and these other guys, they're going to be dead soon. To me, that's karma. I like it when bad things happen to bad people.
Took a little while for karma to happen, though.
Like I said, it's not always swift, but I do think it's just. All right, do not go anywhere. We have got another hour to go. Coming up next here, man, when you've lost the Ayatollah, what does that say? The Olympic Committee lost the support of the Ayatollah.
You're kidding.
The supreme leader. We've got that and some other stuff. Gonna have a good time. One more hour to go. Nigel's here. Allison's here. Matt Bear's in the traffic center. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
To celebrate Team USA going for gold, Xfinity is offering a gold medal deal. Now through August 11th, get our best offer yet with 300 megabit Xfinity internet and one line of unlimited mobile for just $35 a month for a year and a free 5G phone. And the action doesn't stop there. Save on some of the biggest names in streaming by adding the new Xfinity Stream Saver with Peacock, Apple TV Plus, and Netflix for just $15 a month. Don't wait. When the Olympic Games end, so does this deal. Go to Xfinity.com/Team USA. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Get the fastest connection to Paris with Xfinity, proud partner of Team USA.
Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Equipment taxes and fees extra and subject to change. After promo, regular rates apply to internet and mobile.